We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
A lot of more hands-on activities, a lot more about woodworking and what to do, how to make a career for myself.
It's not only for guys. I am actually learning how to make cupboards and put everything together, like doors, cabinets. It's really fun, actually.
Yeah, well, It's really amazing to see their growth over the course of a year and how they can come in with no real skill at all and leave being able to actually produce furniture and cabinetry.
Houses need cabinets, businesses. Having a pool of resources or kids that have some knowledge in the industry would be real good.
Pull down on that. Let's slide these up. Watch fingers.
It's changed a lot. What I'm seeing here is what it's going towards. The CNC equipment, computers. I could actually build cabinets out of this shop. It's state of the art. It really is.
I am constantly looking for students that have been through these programs. It's always nice to have a person that has some experience. It's a lot easier to train. I think we're fortunate in Bakersfield that the Kern High School District has invested in a program like this. I would encourage other businesses to partner up with the Kern High School District like I've done here, because this really shows you what can be done if business comes together with the Kern High School District.
This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles of animation, Photoshop. They're learning how to animate in 2D and 3D. And when you swap to that shape, then you're just going to drag these over here.
The storyboard aspect of creating basically the skeleton of the story
and then just sort of directing people in my vision of what I want in the story. And it's also giving me the advantage of Mr. Pollard, since he's worked at so many companies, being able to put it in my resume and be like, this is the art direction I've received.
I was shearing my lamb for fair. I have 2 lambs.
This lamb is stubborn.
Taking care of animals is you feed them twice a day, make sure they have water, walk them, make sure they're ready for fair.
Vet science is the first year before you can actually go into animal science, and it's a lot of like hands-on with the different animals, and you get to learn different things such as giving shots, castrating, all that fun stuff. For me, wanting to be a vet when I'm older, it helped prepares me. All the stuff that I'm learning in ag is definitely going to help me.
I'm in ag communications. Anything that you see on the Facebook page is what we do, and pictures, and we do all the posters that are around campus, anything that just promotes ag.
Our students are all part of.
Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and what a game we have for you tonight on the Kern High Network, live exclusive coverage of the Kern High School District's athletics. Tonight it is football. It is a sublime October evening, the middle of October, the 15th, 2021. We are at Scotland Yard, Highland High School, 6-1, welcoming in the undefeated Foothill High School Trojans, 6-0. It is going to be a fabulous football game on the Kern High Network. To my right is our director, Julian Wilson. To my left is the one and only Coach Rich Cornford. My name is Vance Palm, and we are so proud to bring to you our highlighted game this evening on the Kern High Network. What a great, great matchup. Let's bring in my partner, Rich Cornford. Well, Rich, I happen to be outside on the baseball field listening in to Coach Deckard's speech to his Foothill Trojans, who we covered last Thursday night, Kenny and I, when they beat North High to go to 6-0. And believe me, he was illustrating to those Trojans, we're 6-0, but Highland doesn't care about that. They know what we've been doing. They're ready to go. Highland's over here thinking, Foothill 6-0, we're going to stop it right here tonight. Coach Cornford.
Well, it should be a great game. I mean, Coach Deckard was telling me before the game that Foothill hasn't won a league championship since 1981, and essentially this game is for the league title here. So huge game for the Trojans, huge game for the Scots.
We are underway. Squibbler, and the ball's still loose. Oh, goodness, it gets down about the 30-yard line. They had the 33-yard line. They had to jump on it quickly because it was doing that spaceship kind of spin. And so after all of that, Highland will start off with pretty good field position. Give us your brush strokes about the Highland offense.
Well, the Highland offense is going to be typically no huddle. They're going to get up on the ball. They won't always go with tempo, but they have that ability. They're led by JoJo, number 5, quarterback. This is his first year as a quarterback, but he's getting better and better every game. He can run it and throw it, and they've got one of the top backs in town, in Adrian Juarez, just a junior.
We say all of that, and of course he's by himself. An empty set for Mata. 3 to the right side. Low snap, looks left, wants to throw left the entire time. He can run, everybody, but this time he guns it right across the middle. It is caught. It is a first down, and Zephon Stevens makes the catch. Well, the catch was made by Velada, and Salazar with the tackle out there. Here it is, 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. So already we see Mata using his legs and then his arm. 1st and 10 Scotsmen, and they are pretty much at midfield.
And I think that's a change from when we saw Highland earlier in the year versus Shafter, where he was more likely to run. There he kept his eyes down the field and made a big play with his arm.
Mata has a back there with him, and they give it to him, but big contact at the line of scrimmage. A nice hit out there by Will Zelandia. And, Coach, more on the game that Kenny and I covered last Thursday night, North at Foothill. We'll get into that when time allows. But it reminds me to mention that this front defensive 4, defensive 5 for the Foothill Trojans are tough. 2nd and 9. Mata in the shotgun, stands on the H logo. They try to go through the middle again, and this time they do. So the offensive line up there working hard, and that is Juarez, Adrian Juarez, the junior, 5'7", 170. Wears jersey number 28.
He's run for nearly 800 yards this year and 11 touchdowns. And, he's a Walter Payton-style back. He can do it all. He'll catch it out of the backfield, and he runs very hard, very aggressively.
3rd and 3. Juarez sends Valletta in motion. Looks over at head coach Michael Gutierrez. Gutierrez. They stay on the ground with it, and do they get the first down? I don't know. They have to muscle him, but it's going to be close, super close. And even after all that effort, and even after all of the Highland offensive linemen tried to shove their running back past the first down marker, Coach, I don't think they're giving it to him. They're going to make it 4th and about a foot. Oh, no, they moved the change. Wow.
Wow, yeah, that surprised me. I thought they were short. The chain guy thought that they were short.
They put 4th up, and they got it by a whisker. 1st and 10, Scotsman at the Trojans' 42-yard line, and head coach Brandon Deckard over there not pleased, thought his line did the job. They stay on the ground again. This time, Trojans get to him early in the backfield, and they're not going to let him go. A great job and great pursuit. The big fellow was Jose Del Valle, but helping him out in there was Noah Sanchez as well. So nice play by that defense.
Well, that defense is coached by Mike Gregg, who's a longtime Foothill assistant, worked there since the Dennis Manning era, and has been around football a long time. And he is an excellent coach, and he's excited. He loves this group of kids, and they realize that they're, to have a chance to win this game, they're going to probably need to keep Highland under 20 points.
A loss of 3. It's a long 3. It looks like 2nd and 14, but the scoreboard says 2nd and 13. We'll see. Mata looks over. Valletta in the slot, and it's getting closer. They're running out of time, and I think they're going to have to call a timeout, and they do. So Coach Gutierrez not happy with his junior quarterback burning a timeout in the first 3 minutes of this game. Gives us a chance to collect ourselves once again. I'm Vance Palm with Rich Cornford and Julian Wilson. Welcome to the Kern High School's live football action tonight, Friday, October 15th, and the Kern High Network bringing a great one with Rich Cornford here. And I was down on the field talking to the Dean of Local Sports, Greg Kerr, and I listened to his radio show today. Had all these coaches on, the coaches for tonight's game that we're at, Coach Gola, Coach Sheehy, I had all these coaches on there, and I just naturally assumed he'd be at that Garces BHS game. I come over here, I said, "You're at this game?" He looked at me like I'm a dunce. He goes, duh, of course. Yeah. Reinforcing the thought that, hey, this is the game tonight.
Sure is, Vance. And, the teams couldn't contrast more in the fact of the styles that they play offensively, but both teams have great coaches and great athletes that love each other.
Okay, and that long 2nd and 13, how about this? They call the timeout, then they run into a brick wall. Again, Jose Del Valle is one of the young guys in there for the big hit. And again, his partner, Noah Sanchez, and now they move him back even further. I'm telling you, that Foothill line is no joke on defense.
They're controlling the line of scrimmage right now, Vance, and forcing Highland into a 3rd and long, which nobody enjoys calling plays off your play sheet for 3rd and long here. Be interesting here. I know that, Foothill typically plays a loose zone coverage, so if Highland tries to do something underneath and maybe get some yards after the catch here, anxious to see what Coach Gutierrez calls.
3rd and 16. Excitement everywhere tonight. Big crowd at the Scotland Yard. And how about this? A packed house on the visitor side for Foothill. It's been a while. Mata rolls to his left, looks, floats it out. Nice pass. The wind catches it, and that's going to be a flag. And if I could read his mind, I think Antonio Salazar had thought the receiver already caught it. I think he already thought Valletta had caught it, which proves the point that he hadn't had his eyes on the ball. And that's a very, very big boost for the Highland Scotsmen.
Yeah, that'll give him just enough for the first down, I believe, and, bails him out of that 3rd and long situation. Ran a wheel route there with the motion guy coming over there. Got him matched up on the linebacker, so a favorable matchup, one of your faster guys on a linebacker. And, threw a ball up there that would have been difficult to catch, but it was difficult for the defender who had his back turned trying to catch up to him and ran right through him.
Coach, if Salazar's turned around, it's up for grabs.
Tough to do as a linebacker when that guy's, running away from you and you're running all 5 flat speed, whatever you have, and that guy's
so right.
4.5. But Good call by Gutierrez to get him in that one-on-one situation.
So, Coach, to answer your question, or not, it wasn't posed as a question, but to let everybody know it did not pick up enough. It's going to be, and I think the officials now want to talk something over because it's 3rd and inches. They're going to say bring it out to measure, I think. I think that's what it's going to be. Explain the penalty and why it's in that area and how that happened.
Well, you know, we had a couple losses of yardage there on 1st and 2nd down, so the 3rd down looked like right at 15, but it must have been 15 and a quarter or so. So when they mark off the 15 yards for the pass interference, it's not an automatic first down in high school football. So I think we're going to be just short, and I think Coach Decker kind of wondered, why didn't you measure the last one?
I think the average layman's thinking, well, doesn't that penalty mean a first down? Doesn't it always mean a first down? No. And the Highland Scotsmen are already saying first down, but they pull out the last chain link, and it is about 4 inches short. So brings it 3rd and very short.
Yeah, because they'll get to repeat the down, so it will be 3rd and short here. Might be a good time for an RPO run-pass option if those corners are playing loose. Hit them with a quick slant. If not, give it to Juarez. Let him do his thing.
Mata in the shotgun.
One-on-one down below here.
Flags, I thought, they're going to stop this play, and I think the offensive line just got moving too early. The snap was not clean, was not fresh. So from 3rd and inches, it'll go to 3rd and 5 inches, and that's going to drive Coach Gutierrez crazy as well. Just wasn't a crisp, clean, immediate snap.
Now they have 4th down listed on the down marker over there. I'm pretty sure it should be 3rd down. That's also on the scoreboard written as 4th down.
Well, the PA announcer saying 3rd and 5, and now the officials are going to catch it very quick. Oh, they're just quietly going to tell they're going to stop the game here and make sure everybody knows it's 3rd and 5. The ref on the 30-yard line's reaching over to tell the guys, hey, it's 3rd.
That's a good job by the official. We saw that Penn State versus Auburn game earlier this year where they missed one like that. You had all those high-paid college officials out there, and all 7 of them missed it. Good job by the head linesman here to get that straightened out.
Was that a check swing or a strike last night?
Oh, boy, howdy.
Well,
I'm a Dodger fan, but it looked like a check swing to me. We'll take it, though.
Here we go, 3rd and 5. And the officials...
So the scoreboard has 3rd down.
Well, and
down marker has 4th.
And Coach Decker's talking to the white hat, and I think he needs a little explaining as well that the penalty the interference fell short of the first down, but they do get to have the down over.
Correct.
And so it was 3rd and inches. It was always 3rd and inches, not 4th and inches. It was 3rd and inches. So now here it is officially. 8:09 to go and counting in this first quarter. Sounds like the 4th quarter already. An exciting night here at Scotland Yard. Mata, play action, throws across the middle. It's caught, and it's a first down. Fumble, ball on the ground.
I think they're calling him a completion, but down.
Oh, goodness. We don't have instant replay at this level. Ooh. They're going to say that down by contact. Foothill coach is not pleased. 1st and 10, and they go on the ground, and it's Juarez with it. And Juarez wrapped up and thrown down. Aggressive tackle by Brian Jacinto.
Well, no, you got to watch Foothill last week. This is my first time seeing them, and they are for real on defense. These guys fly to the ball. They control their gaps. You got some guys up front there like Brian Jacinto, 6'1", 230, nose guard that is controlling the line of scrimmage.
Andrew Rios, get a load of number 32, by the way. Rios is his partner right there. It's going to be an exciting football game for both teams here tonight. 2nd and 10, no gain. Mata keeps it himself, runs to the near side. Nice job blocking, and he goes out of bounds at about the 18-yard line.
A little extracurricular right there.
There's no question.
Both offensively and defensively.
These guys are fired up, Coach.
There we got a showing some love to his teammate there, making sure he doesn't get in trouble. That's good leadership there by number 25, Joel Trevino.
3rd and short. Mata to Juarez. Juarez getting to the outside. Does he get there? Oh, a bruising hit at the 12-yard line, but it'll be a first down. A big hit. And Jacinto took some of that hit. So 1st and 10, Scotsmen. They have the pink jerseys specifically for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and their pregame they had some survivors of breast cancer right here. It's at the 50-yard line for their presentation, so you can, for an announcer, man, is it great to see those pink numbers. Awfully easy. For just a second, Mata looked like he was going to go behind center. Would have been rare. In the shotgun. Wants to keep it himself. Cuts back up. Mata looking for the end zone. He's going to get it. Touchdown, Scotsman.
And that's what the Scots do. That Mata's the second leading rusher over there. Very dangerous with the ball in his hands. And he had a good drive there. Threw for a key first down. We've got a flag here late. Both of these teams typically go for 2. So if that's on the penalty, that's going to make the 2-point conversion a whole lot harder.
And it appears to be against Highland. No question, touchdown is good. Assistant coaches are getting on the Scotsmen for unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. Could have done without the extra oomph that's going to cost them on the kickoff.
I'm not sure who that was on. If it was on Mata, he's got to be careful, because if he gets another one, he's eliminated from the game. Looks like they're going to take that on the kickoff. I think you have the option. You take it on the extra point or the kickoff.
So Mata will kick the 20-yarder. And Coach Deckard's already had a couple of chats with the White Hat. We've had some disjointed stoppages of games already. Okay, here we go. PAT from the 10-yard line spot. It's down, it's up, and it is good. So the Scotsmen score on their first drive. Took them 5 minutes and 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Took them a long time to get down. There were some penalties and some backing up a little bit, but the point I'm trying to make is they muscled through and got it, Coach.
They did. They had to work for every yard there. Converted a couple third downs. Made some good plays, and this is going to be a war. Talking to Coach Decker earlier, he knows that this is the best team that Foothill has played all the year. And they knew that they needed to step up, and there were some battles. They had that key play was that pass interference, because they had gotten them into a 3rd and long and then gave it up on that play. But we saw Foothill initially control the line of scrimmage, which is what they're going to have to do to have a chance to win against this kind of two-headed monster there with the Highlands offense.
Well, now we're going to see the Trojans. Raphael Monge, their quarterback. The wind last Thursday night, Coach, was ferocious at Foothill. Thursday night, I mean, you were living it up. You were traveling again, and we'll talk about, whatever you bought me as far as gifts later on. But, I mean, last week, Thursday night, it was howling. It carried over for a couple of nights and blew our city apart. But big wind coming directly from the west at Foothill, so it was coming right at Foothill. So it was virtually one way or the other, whichever way you were going. And then the second half, it switched. It was coming from the north, so it was shooting across the field. But all night, it wreaked havoc on quarterback, so it was a really ground-focused game, pretty quick game, went pretty quickly. But we didn't get to see Monje really put it up in the air that often. Just didn't call for it, but probably have some good field position here after the penalty.
Yeah, and Foothill's style of offense, that double wing, they want to just grind out 3 and 4 yards a pop.
It might go out of bounds, or it might get picked up on an onside kick. It goes out of bounds, and boy, that had both teams scared. They were both worried about it.
Now they ought, after that penalty, they should get that ball at midfield. If you were kicking from the 40, you get it at the 35. So my math says if you're kicking from the 20, you get it at the 50.
We have a quick moment to find out what you bought me in Oklahoma. Was it? shirt, a sweatshirt? Is that?
I'm grasping for straws here, Vance.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I lost my wallet.
No, I mean, yeah. No, I saw too many of your posts. I know you didn't. It's like Kenny Calvin. Kenny goes back to Georgia for a week. I said, what'd you get me? VP, well, you know what? To be honest with you, VP, I said, just stop, Kenny. Just stop. All right, so look at this, Coach.
Going to have him kick it again.
Your math is perfect. You went to high school on the coast, so with that clean living over there, how about this? They better boot this thing a long, long ways or Foothill's going to be running into the end zone with it. Flag on the play, and if that's offsides, it could be even more brutal. Now you've got Greg Kerr, the dean of local sports, is on the 25, and he's grinning.
Now, if I'm Foothill and I want my deep guys to catch this ball, I'm moving them
Get
way
up
up
there.
because Highland does not appear willing to kick it deep.
I think what they hadn't given him the whistle to start yet. That's what it was.
Okay.
Not offsides. They haven't given him the big whistle yet. So you're right, Coach. The two deep guys for the Trojans, the fastest guy in the whole city, Tyson Reynolds, is way back there. I don't see this ball getting there. They're going to try to kick it away from him. This might go out of bounds. Does it? Oh, he went for it and touched it. Did he touch it before he went out of bounds?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh, goodness. So Joel Trevino touched it before it went out of bounds, or it would have been even more brutal. So, but still, very, very good field position. It'll be 1st and 10 from exactly midfield.
So double tight, double wing formation here for Foothill. You'll see Kalen Deloney. He's run for 875 yards. He's the Larry Zonka to Tyson Reynolds, Mercury Morris.
Unbelievable.
Over here.
And let me tell you, Kalen Deloney would have been the T-shirt winner of the Kern High Network last week, and he was pretty much going to be the guy in the last play of the game. Tyson Reynolds broke up, would have been the game-winning touchdown, saved the game for the Trojans, so he got our T-shirt.
So have you heard the term 3 yards in a cloud of dust? Because that's what we're about to see here with this double wing.
Raphael Mange, the quarterback, behind everybody, and they go right up the middle with the big fella, and that's exactly what you're going to see tonight. A lot of it. Kalen Deloney.
And you'll watch as Foothill breaks the huddle. They're going to break it slowly. They're going to use just about all 40 seconds in between plays.
You're right.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but the back judge, he'll give you the last 5 seconds, and somewhere in there is about when they'll snap it every time. They want to slow this game down, reduce the number of possessions, control the line of scrimmage, and just wear your fanny out.
You're so right, and one other reason that game went pretty quickly last week, it was just all about very, very deliberate, nothing hurried, wasn't a lot of herky-jerky penalties. And this time, a quick pitch underneath the coverage, and look out, everybody. Look out, everybody. Kevin Sandoval heading for the cones on their second play, touchdown Foothill, and the Trojan crowd is electric.
Well, there we go. Kevin Sandoval getting the toss on what they call the power play there. You notice the quarterback going to toss it and then lead block for you. So that big line for Foothill, again, controlling the line of scrimmage, which is what they do. Again, they try to limit the possessions. If you focus too much on that big fullback, the halfback will get you there.
So how about a script flipper right there? Second play for the Trojans. It helps when you start on the 50. And now they're going to go for 2, just like Coach Cornford mentioned. Manji behind quarterback. And the big fella's going to try to run it in. He gets to the outside. I don't think they'll stop him, and they don't. Touchdown, Kalen Deloney.
So that whole double wing philosophy is you cannot stop us from getting 3 yards. We're going to get 3 yards all night long. Occasionally we'll pop one like we saw. So that's why they go for it on the 2-point conversions, because their whole offense is predicated on 3 yards.
8-7 in the first half of the first quarter. So just as promised, Coach, here we go.
Yeah, these two teams, again, very different offensive styles, but you see the effectiveness of both sides, and you see that, hey, they've got some skill players out here too, along with some monster offensive linemen.
First quarter action, Kern High Network, live exclusive coverage of high school athletics tonight. The Highland Scotsmen bringing in the Foothill Trojans. As we talked about, this is an SYL matchup. 6-1 for Highland, the undefeated Trojans 6-0. And I talked about it with Greg Kerr. Kenny and I mentioned it a few times. North High is probably the best one-win team in the area. They are tough. And they were close to knocking off these Trojans last Thursday night. And I think the Trojans took that to heart that, hey, look, every week now someone wants to give us our first loss. There's a big long kick taken at the 10-yard line. And we'll see if he can get outside, switches hands, puts it in his left hand, and he's knocked out of bounds. So Juarez gets to the 31, right around there, right on the 30 they put it. So good first drives. One was long, tough, drawn out, overcome adversity. Every cliche you could talk about, a 5-minute drive all the way down the field. The other was bam, bam, over.
Yeah, and both sides did what they want to do. I think that probably surprised Foothill a little bit to score so quickly. But they've got that kind of firepower. You know, they got thunder up the middle, and they got lightning on the outside.
Well, you called it, Coach. Okay, Mata stands at his own 25 in the shotgun. Will they go right to the air? Foothill shows 4, and they bring 5, and a couple of big hits up there. And I've called his name a few times already, but the first guy to get in there is Will Zela-India, number 52.
You know, one thing about the Foothill mentality is they tried to pick a fight with the Drillers this year. They each had a game canceled because of COVID, so they had set it up to play, but it was the dadgum air quality prevented them from playing that week. So Foothill's not going to back away from anybody.
Head coach Brandon Deckard, he's got a great staff, and Michael Gutierrez, he has a great staff.
Testament to both administrations at those schools for really going out and hiring good coaches.
Mata in the shotgun. Keeps it himself, runs over here to the near side, puts one good move on, and he's thrown to the ground by Antonio Salazar. And I want to say something, Coach, to all of the Highland fans, faithful and family members. I grew up in Arvin with probably 10 Gutierrez's. We were from 5th grade all the way through, and they were always pronounced Gutierrez. We just called them the Gutierrez. So if you're used to Gutierrez for the head coach, I'll try, but I have way too many old-time Arvin friends that we just say Gutierrez. So we'll see. Either way, head coach Michael G., how's that? 3rd and 3, big third down for this Highland offense. And it's a beautiful play, and could be more. Wow. Oh, big hit at the end, but not until they got a big first down. And I know that Zela-India is happy with the hit, but I'll tell you what, Jacob Urea is just as happy with that big first down.
Yeah, that was a big play, and it seems like Coach Gutierrez has all the answers on 3rd down. You know, that's a perfect time to run that counter play. They got the Trojans to over-pursue to the left, came back, beat them to the Trojans' right. So great call, again, by Coach Gutierrez. I'm just extremely impressed with his play calling all season long.
1st and 10, Mata looks for a gap, gets hit hard. First guy in to make the hit, again, Zela-India.
You know, the Highland Scots put a lot of pride in their preparation and just how they scout people and creating their game plans. And, you know, they've been very successful with it all year and put up a lot of points. They're averaging about 30 points a game on the season.
He attacked it, but only got 2 yards. He hit that hole so hard you'd think they got more, but they didn't. 2nd and 8. Mata, quick toss out here to the near side to Valletta. What's Valletta going to do with it? Ooh, man, and they throw the flag, and I don't believe that Reynolds can believe it. And I think Reynolds was saying, hey, I grabbed him by the shoulder pads, but I think it was maybe just a little too far out, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know if he was complaining that the receiver was holding him, but he definitely, that's the second time we've seen him getting a little altercation there, and the Trojans are going to need him to stick around because he's important on both sides of the ball to him.
You kidding me? The other night, it was a one-point ball game, but I got to tell you, it was the touchdown. He broke up that touchdown the very end of the game, or they'd be 5-1, and it was all Tyson Reynolds.
Yeah, that North High team, like you're talking about, is awful good. They gave Highland all Highland could handle. Now Highland pulled away a little in the 4th quarter, but it was nip and tuck that entire game.
They've got that running back, quarterback, everything. Mackay, that is just, he's look out for him next year. Now it's 1st and 10, balls at the 15-yard line.
Well, this was, believe it or not, supposed to be a rebuilding year for Highland. They are loaded with juniors, but having a heck of a season.
Mata, they go on the ground with it. And he picks up a few in between the hash marks. A beautiful night. We kicked off. It was 80 degrees.
Yeah, I'm still in short sleeves and shorts up here. Feels pretty darn good.
Our director, Julian Wilson, with us this evening.
3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Highland going with a heavy set to the right.
Mata looks, throws, and it's caught, and he might get in. Ooh, he gets right down to the 2 or 3 yard line. Manny Valletta, that was close. Mata hung on to it to the very end and then just ripped it to Valletta.
Again, I can't say enough about JoJo Mata and how he's progressed as a quarterback. You know, he was kind of thrown in about a week into football practice with that role, but he's really taken it and run with it. He completed over 55% of his passes this year, been very efficient.
First and goal from the 1. Mata may take it in himself. Oh, big hit, but he gets in. A lot of contact, but that's a touchdown. And Highland gets in again. And Juarez took a big pop, but he gets in. Touchdown Highland. So we've got a barn burner going here. It's nice.
Looks like Highland might be going for 2.
They are. They're going to try to get their own 8-point play here.
Now, Foothill's a little different because they go for 2 every time. But typically on a normal team, you're going to have 1 or 2 plays that are your designated 2-point conversion plays that you're going to practice every week so that your kids are familiar with them. They understand. You notice they put the ball on the right hash. So they already have a play in mind that they were going to run in this instance.
They're using it early. Mata puts Juarez in motion right in front of him. He fakes the give, and he's going to try to get it himself. Can they keep him out? No, they cannot. Well, that's just really all JoJo Mata on that play, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to think of who I could compare him to, you know, as a quarterback that people would know. But, you know, he's just got a good balance. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's got a good arm, and he's getting more and more accurate. But, you know, he's really dangerous with the ball in his hands over there, just, you know, like a water bug trying to chase him around.
2:15 left here in this first quarter. It's 15-8. Superb start to this game. Unfortunately, we have a Trojan down for a minute. And that just gives us a quick second to just recap everybody. I'm Vance Palm, Julian Wilson, our director, to the right. Rich Cornford to my left. Rich, let's embrace that game that's about 3 miles to the west. The Drillers at Garces. I listened to Greg's interview today with Coach Sheehy and Coach
Gola.
Gola. I listened to both of those. I was trying to look at which number that was. It's up. Oh, he's going to be okay. So listen to both coaches. Both always great interviews, saying the right things. Coach Sheehy's in this very unique situation where he's the interim head coach and the head varsity girls basketball coach. Coach Gola left BHS to go to Garces. There's a ton of storylines there. What do you think about the action on the field tonight? What do you think?
Well, that league is awful tough this year, the SWYL. And, you know, the Drillers played an unbelievably tough preseason schedule, and it maybe appeared that they were a little down this year. But, boy, once they've gotten into league play, they're the Drillers of old. They're loaded with athletes. And then, you know, Coach Gola is one of the hardest working coaches out there. He's got a squad that's really balanced, really fast. So that's going to be a heck of a game. I'm anxious to get some updates on how that game's going.
Last Friday night, Bakersfield homecoming, Coach Van Horn and I called that game. Stockton Mustangs at BHS. BHS dominated the game. Our very own Kenny Calvin was the public address announcer for the game. And, boy, it was a heavy night for the Blue, and they played very, very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that game tells us as well. So this time they put it up, and it's in the air, and it's going to be taken by the speedster. And when I say speedster, if he can get outside, look out. Very, very quick. They finally get him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. And I'm speaking about Tyson Reynolds. We think, and Kenny was trying to substantiate it, we think he's the fastest player in the city.
It's either him or the kid from Shafter, who was really fast also, who ran a 10-800 meters. I know he runs 4.440, and that's pretty darn fast. And you can just see he's got some fast twitch muscle fibers in there.
Here's what we'll do. He's fastest in the city. The General's the fastest in the country.
In the county. There we go.
Jeff Showers was the fastest guy in both city and country out in Arvin. Here we go. 1st and 10. 2:07 remaining in this first quarter. The Trojans have only ran. This is their third play from the line of scrimmage, and Highland jumps on Reynolds in that one.
Nice job by the Scots defense there pursuing. One of the things you got to be careful of is over pursuing and getting that cut back to the backside, which is, I think, what happened when the Trojans got the long touchdown. I just want to say, talking about Arvin a couple times and, Ned Permenter here, but it makes me think of Chuck Chamberlain. We lost him.
We're going to talk about that later in the evening. I want to make sure
services tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
make sure that's in the schedule to have a nice discussion about that. And I look forward to bringing that to our audience here later on. And now the big fella gets outside. That's a first down and more. He gets to about the 44-yard line inside Scotsman territory. That's Kalen Deloney.
Coach Decker was telling me that Deloney is a crack-up. He's the funniest guy on the team. Keeps the team loose, never gets nervous, just loves playing ball. And, man, when you got an athlete like that, that everybody can look to and doesn't get nervous, it helps the whole team.
Coach, these Trojans started last week in the Wildcat with Deloney. That's how they started the night. First 2 or 3 series was Deloney in the Wildcat, and then once Northside kind of made their adjustments, they put him as the premier back. And either way, it was just, Deloney. And here's the play that scored on the touchdown. Oh, not this time. He's hit hard, and that is Urea. So Jacob Urea hits him shoulder pad, and that's over.
Yeah, that was a great job by Urea. They're really high on him as a linebacker. Team leader, just overall stud. Oh, we got another flag here coming real late. I think some people are doing some yapping.
Well, the last guy to get back to the huddle who was talking to the ref way in the interior part of the defense for Highland was number 66, Solomon Correa. And he was the closest to the official that tossed the flag high in the air, and he was the last one that was kind of meandering back to the huddle with his hands on his hip, so it may be on Foothill. The white hat, it was just a sideline warning. Thank goodness.
Boy, all that drama for nothing.
Yeah, super high flag late in the deal, and he's looking right at a player. What's a guy supposed to think? My apologies to the Correa family. 2nd and 10. Again, tight, packed-in offense. Highland looks like they're going to bring it. They go with the big fella, and they pay the price. They gambled and tried to time their blitz. And again, it's Deloney. Coach, give us wax eloquence on that wing T offense.
Well, it's the double wing. So
right.
The double wing, foot-to-foot splits. What you're trying to do is just get some double teams and get a push. You get that big fullback in there, which they call the sniffer. I won't go into why they call him that, but he gets up behind that line, and you get those double teams, and it's nearly impossible to stop that guy without him getting at least 3 yards.
Somebody burned a timeout with 6.9 seconds left in the first quarter on a 3rd and 2.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you were going to get if you felt like your team needed a breather, you were going to get that at the quarter. I don't know if they were going to get the snap off in the next 7 seconds with the pace that they go.
I don't know. The timeout is, the Trojans have the football. The scoreboard doesn't indicate who the timeout was. They don't have the allotment on the scoreboard. I don't know. With such a short time. There she is, ladies and gentlemen, the superstar. The place looks great tonight. We're excited. And how about this football game? We were talking about it, Coach. No, you know what? We'll get her on for sure. You gonna come up later and spend some time with us? Very good. That's the big boss. She'll be up later.
Deb Vikstrom, principal for Highland High School, done a great job here. And you just see the student section and the excitement in the air here. Great place to play.
3rd and 2. Trojans called the timeout. And all of that to give it to probably the one guy that everybody in the stadium knew was going to get it anyway. And that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. 15-8. What a start. Highland High School up by a touchdown, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. We'll take a short break here on Kern Network, and we will be back right after this. What a great start.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
Welcome back, everybody. Coach Cornford, our audience could hear us chit-chatting, but couldn't hear her mic. Who's your halftime guest?
So it'll be Deborah Vikstrom. She's the principal here at Highland High School. I worked with her a little while when I was at Frontier, and she just created a great culture and climate, both for athletics and education.
Fumble, the ball's on the ground. Highland acting as if there's no other choice but to give it to him. The officials not biting yet. They have not acquiesced to all the theatrics of the Scotsmen saying that it's their ball, and it's not.
Sometimes that's coached. You tell your guys, hey, anytime you get to the ball out loose or it looks like there might be a fumble, point that direction. Maybe you can convince the official that something happened that he didn't see happen.
And I agree. But when there's 8 guys that do it, sometimes they're right. Guess not.
All right, this is not where Foothill wants to be in a 2nd and 12. Again, they want to get 3 yards consistently.
They go to the air. Manji wants to throw. He's got a lot of speed. Let's see where he can get with it. Manji looking to get to the sidelines. And, oh, how about this? And the flags might fly here. They don't. And the coaching staff from Foothill livid.
Yeah, that was a close call. I think that was a good no call right there. There are 2 of them pursuing him over there, but I am a defender, so by nature.
You're like Kenny Calvin. Kenny, you and Kenny, mirror image guys when it comes to wanting to make sure that the defensive effort is always clean. All the hits are always clean. Everything's always above board.
Now, Manji doesn't throw a punch, but when he does throw, he's accurate. 54% completions. He's got 300 yards and 2 touchdown passes on the season.
Big 3rd and 3. Manji behind center. Looks like they're bringing everybody. They give it to the big fella, and how about that? Once Deloney gets past the line of scrimmage and he gets into the interior part of that defense, it could go from 2 yards to pay dirt quickly.
Well, one thing that Foothill does with their double wing that is a little different is he's a little bit deeper than the typical fullback in this offense, which allows him to go to the B gap or the C gap and go wide instead of just straight up the middle. So that time they sent motion to the left and they sent him to the right. There was an open gap there, and he picked up the first down.
From the 16-yard line, trying to get to the end zone. They're getting closer. Manji, this time they give it to the speedster. Reynolds around the corner. Reynolds breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles. Reynolds hunting down the end zone, and he goes out of bounds just in front of the cone. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 1. Well, you miss him once, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they got a great complement to the power running game inside with 2 halfbacks that are very versatile and very quick. Now, ball being at the 1 yard line here, I don't think you have to be a genius to guess who's going to get it.
All right. We can't do any wagering, Coach. But since you brought me a sandwich up, oh no, wait, I can't really even gamble with that.
I scarfed that sandwich down
You
quick.
saw me coming up the steps, and you said, I got to eat this right now. 1st and goal from the 2. We think Deloney's going to get it. We think. And that's about it. Deloney muscles his way in. Touchdown, Trojans. And both of these teams' offenses are really clicking tonight. Good defenses on both sides of the ball, but boy, the weapons on both sides of the football for the offenses on these teams are really, really good, Coach.
Well, that Trojan offensive line certainly controlled the line of scrimmage there, led by Brian Jacinto and Jose Del Valle. Got a great push over there. There's no chance of stopping that particular play.
Two-pointer, and they stretch it out and get in. No problem for Salazar. Antonio Salazar just gallops towards the cone, and it's 16-15, so Salazar gets on the board as well. What a football game. Wow. It's living up to the hype in the first quarter and a couple of minutes.
Yeah, again, Coach Deckard had said they needed to play a perfect game, but he felt like they could play a perfect game offensively, and so far we're seeing that. They've moved the ball down 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions. So that's about as perfect as you can get. So whose defense is going to rise here? This is, again, Foothill has only given up 20 points one time all year. That was against South High, who they beat by a couple touchdowns. But Highland has gone down the last 2 times and scored themselves. So both defenses are going to need to make some adjustments.
Don't know if that's going to hold tonight, the way the Scotsmen look. And by the way, Kalen Deloney's the kicker. So he does it all. I'm trying to remember from last week if he's left-footed. That's right, he is. He's a left-footed kicker, huge running back. And he takes his 2 steps, and it bounces perfectly, and they do a quick reverse, and it's going to be Valletta looking for some room on the sidelines. Valletta knocked out of bounds. And thought there may be a little bit of an altercation over here, and it didn't happen. So
there is some hitting going on.
There is some hitting.
Some of it may be a little late.
Well, he's lucky he's not in the program. Number 4 is not on the program, so he gets away with it. So,
well, if they just pulled you up from JV and you're trying to get your coach's attention, hey, coach, I'll hit anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. Just don't hit him after the whistle.
1st and 10 inside Trojan territory, so field position this first half has been great for both teams.
Now the Trojan defense is not used to being driven on, and so far where Highland's got the yards has been outside the tackles for the most part.
What a great game. Next drive. Fumble, pass on the ground! Oh, goodness. It was a shovel pass from Mata, and it was over to Juarez, and he knows it's on him. He just took off without it. He knew the defense was close, and he just took his eyes off the ball, Coach.
Yeah, he got a lucky bounce there that bounced right back to him.
You talk about a script flipper. Coach Gutierrez chiming in the signs to Jojo Mata, the junior quarterback. 2nd and 15 officially. This time they just stay right on the ground with it. And that Foothill defense.
Boy, in between the tackles, that Foothill defense is as tough as you're going to find over here.
Coach Gutierrez, head coach for the Scots. He's got his assistants, Angel Posadas, Christopher Jockey, Gabe Johnson, Tony Valera, some kid named Marcus Cornford.
Got to watch that kid.
3rd and 12.
All right, so this is where Coach Gutierrez, he's going to take a good look at what Foothill's showing him defensively, and then he's going to make just the right call off of that. Foothill shows blitz late.
A throw, Mata, and it's dropped. It's dropped. So these 3rd down conversions, one of the storylines Coach Cornford pointed out as being such a key to their success so far. Now all of a sudden it's 4th and 12. Head coach for Foothill, Brandon Deckard, his assistants, Mike Gregg, Leonard Nevels, Randy Maples, amongst others.
If I remember, I think Mata might be the punter here. So you got to be really careful if you're the Trojans at not overcommitting and watching for the fake here.
Joseph Mata to attempt a punt for the Scots.
Dalen Felix is way deep, and he does punt it, and Felix may get a good bounce here. Let's see. No, it bounces away from him and takes one of those vintage football bounces. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. We would love to thank everybody at Highland High School. Coach Cornford's going to have the principal, Debbie Vikstrom, up here for an interview at halftime. And the assistant principal of instruction is Mindy Carter, the assistant principal of administration, Brad Hull, the great Brad Hull, one of my analysts for our Kern High Network Wrestling. state champion wrestler Brad Hull, Dean of Students Jasper King, Dean of Students Kim Bravo, Athletics Director Justin Finch, and the Activities Director Megan Barber Smith. Thank you, Highland High School. Thanks to all of our superintendents and Stan Green. More on Stan Green later. What a presentation he put on at the BC Athletics Hall of Fame, and thank you, Valley Strong Credit Union, for allowing us to do this in our community. 1st and 10, they pitch it out to Reynolds. Reynolds to the right side, still on his feet. He breaks away again. Man, he got tossed around 2 or 3 times and finally brought down. Hey, Coach, I mentioned it at the very, very beginning of the game, and I mean this as fondly and as kindly as I can say it, but it has been a long time since we've called a Foothill game on the road and seen that.
Yeah, that's great for the community. They've really bought into their school and their program. You know, talking to some of the coaches beforehand, that just the way the student body has embraced this football team is just extraordinary. And that's really what football can do for your school. It can kind of set the pace for the year.
2nd and 11. Reynolds actually lost a yard. And a dog pile right there at the line of scrimmage. And what I meant by that was the full packed stands across the way. And our captain, Julian Wilson, reading my mind. That is awesome. You see a packed house on the road. Like Coach Cornford says, can do a lot for a campus.
Yeah, they're hoping to get a little piece of history over here.
3rd and 8.
I was 12 years old the last time they won a championship. Are you doing the math in your head?
No, just trying to make sure to make a wisecrack. I had a couple ready. 3rd and 8. They go right up the middle with it, and it's a big run, and they pick up the 1st down. And Deloney is just, the absolute called-upon workhorse. When he gets down to these big runs, when it's 1st and goal from the 3, you know it's going to be him. But on 3rd and 8, it's still going to be Kalen Deloney.
Well, again, with 3rd and 8 for them, they're figuring they're going to go for it on 4th down anyway if it's 4 yards or less. So why not run it? And it really makes it difficult to defend because you don't get that typical 3rd and long pass rush mentality. You got to still play the same, pad low, gap solid mentality that you play on 1st and 2nd down.
Absolutely, Coach. Great point. That double wing, they get set in again. Tight. And this time, a quick handoff, and it's going to be Sandoval right around the near side. Sandoval, a big 1st down, and he gets knocked out at about the 43-yard line. A big 1st down. So they mix it up a little bit, give it to Kevin Sandoval.
Yeah, lead blocker there, Brian Jacinto, man, 6'1", 230 pounds, and he was moving. That's the kind of guy you want to run behind. He's one of their top guys, plays defensive line for them also. A two-way guy that obviously in great shape because he was hauling buns there. And then as Highland, they had that 3rd and 8 that they gave up just a while ago. That's disheartening when you think, hey, we're about to get them off the field, and then they convert.
Scotsmen, they bring 4 only. They stay back a little bit to try to get a little time to get Deloney, and Deloney still doesn't go down.
Pancake block up there by Andrew Horton, who's just going snap to whistle. And they go, again, Highland's got to keep those pads down or they're going to get driven to the end zone.
6:20 remaining in this half. The score is 16-15. The Trojans up 1, 16-15.
And a perfect drive for these Trojans would be to use about all of that clock and score with probably about a minute to go.
A whale of a first half. Great game. 2nd and 9. And look out, he's in trouble. Manji's in big trouble. He can't get free, and he goes down. He's trying to get away, but he cannot. And that is a big, big loss, and the Scotsmen come up with a big play when they need it. Jacob Urea.
That was going to be some kind of misdirection, and something went wrong.
Coach, there's just so little space in that offense. It's just so packed in and so packed tight. As a basketball player and a basketball coach, we were always about space. Spread it out and make that defense work, make that defense cover a lot of ground. It's just not the concept in a double wing.
They just don't want any leakage, but there you see what happens when there was leakage. It really cost them. Now they're in a situation where it's very long yardage to go.
Highland brings 6 at him, and now Sandoval trying to get free, and he does get free. Sandoval picks up the first down. Are you kidding me? What a huge play. Kevin Sandoval comes from the right side. They put the ball in his hand, and if you're the Highland Scotsman, that's just a big, big bummer.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Decker, you're thinking, hey, that's a great call that he just made there. You know, you're thinking fullback up the middle again, and quarterback keeps it with a little boot action over there, catches everybody by surprise, made one guy miss, picked up 25 yards. Right back on schedule.
Kevin Sandoval already has a touchdown, scored the first touchdown of the night. And now it's 1st and 10 at the Highland 37. Manji behind quarterback. And this time they give it to the speedster, Reynolds. Reynolds down the right side, looking for a big block, gets some room. Now Reynolds still on his feet. Reynolds, does he get in? That's a touchdown by Tyson Reynolds. Incredible blocking at the beginning of the play, in the middle of the play, and some good distraction traffic blocking at the end of the play. Foothill scores again on Tyson Reynolds' speed.
Boy, I'm very impressed with this Foothill squad and Coach Decker and his play calling here. You know, Highland's kind of into that mode. Wait, we got to guess if they're going inside or outside. And right now, Coach Decker is playing with an extra ace in the hole.
What a big 3rd and 18 they pick up with Sandoval. I think everybody on this side of the football field, the Highland side, said, good, we're going to get the ball back. Well, they are, but it's going to be from a kickoff. Trojans going for 2 again. They've got one of their linebackers, Brian Jacinto, in the backfield. Will they give it to him? No, they're going to let him block. But this time, Highland keeps out Deloney. He doesn't get in.
So they put Deloney at a wing for there, put the linebacker at the fullback spot, tried to lead block there. I don't think Highland was too fooled by that. So that's a big stop for the Scots. It keeps them down just 7.
That sure is. And my old partner, Brian Williams, if I ever even said the 2 words moral victory, he'd go off on me. And it's not a moral victory when you get scored on a touchdown, but that's a good stop right there. That's a good stop. 22-15 is the score. So a barn burner here when there's just under 5 minutes to go in the first half. So our director, Julian Wilson, this is not just about him making sure the camera angle's right. He's got to hop down and edit and cut tape and cut film because the Kern High Network, Twitter especially, is going to have about 55 plays in this first half. So, Julian, get to work. Fun night here at Scotland Yard. If you think back on some of the great names at Highland High School, there are some great ones. Great ones. Kenyon Sills, Jeff Tilsher, Aldo Aparity, Jeff Adams, Donnie James.
So we got Garces 14, BHS 7 at the half.
Woo. This could take a nice bounce. Gets away from him for a second. They fake the handoff, and this time it's going to be Valletta trying to make something happen on his own, and Valletta goes down the 35-yard line, and Mel McClanahan, some more Highland superstars.
Boy, that's a name. I got West High 28, Ridgeview 0 at the half. Over there, the Vikings. West High Vikings, another team that I think shocked a lot of people.
Not you.
Coach Dunham over there, heck of a job with that program. Got those kids believing.
Good man, good coach. Great man, great coach.
Amen to that.
4:44 left in the half. Highland trails by a touchdown. Let's see what they can do. Mata stands at his own 20 in the shotgun. He spread everybody out. He's got a pair on both sides. A quick shovel pass again. And this time Juarez makes the catch. Again, the go-to guy on the ground, Adrian Juarez. There are other options. Manny Valletta, Jacob Urea, but the one that garners the attention and has the big numbers is Adrian Juarez.
Yeah, and George Venegas would start for most other teams. He's the backup running back, but Juarez is, he's an exceptional back. 775 yards, 11 touchdowns already this season. Just a junior. So again, we see Highland is mostly trying to work outside the tackles here because that Foothill defense is extremely stout inside.
I know that Highland High School's homecoming next week. They have a 40-year reunion taking place during homecoming. That ought to be fun.
Please do not blow any type of whistles during the game.
Oh, is that what's going on? I was wondering what was going on here.
Stoppage of play, and the public address announcer, Mike, who went to high school here, said, Vance, back in the day, we didn't have lights, so we played at Memorial Stadium. He was talking about this great football field, and we called a lot of games in the stands. Then announcing stands were on the visitor side. And I remember one game we called here years and years ago when it was Bright House Networks, and Brian Adams and I were up in a scissor lift. We had a sponsor that had a scissor lift. They were a rental company, equipment rentals, and so we were, well, this is in your era when you were coaching.
Yeah.
We were calling your games in old scissor lifts. And that wind came up over Panorama and started shaking up the scissor lift, and Brian said, second half, we're calling this on the ground, man. A run play up the middle, nothing doing there on a 2nd and 6. They get maybe 2, bring up 3rd and 4. And a good tackle there by Ortiz. Kenneth Ortiz makes a hit right there in the gap.
So this is where JoJo Mata has been so effective tonight, making the right read and call in these situations.
Oh. Goodness. And Jackson moved, but he wasn't the only one. So a false start, and those are those ones that just really aggravate you. You've got to pick up a big third down here to keep the momentum going with 4 minutes to go in the first half, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, it kind of takes the run out of your run-pass option for the most part, unless you're a really good draw team.
So now Mata, for all intents and purposes, by himself. Juarez is back there, and they might throw to him. They cut across the corner with it, and the pass ends up being a slant, but it doesn't work. It was intended for Stevens, and we may see the second punt of the evening for the Scotsman.
Yeah, the timing just wasn't quite there on that one. They were trying to hit short and get some yards after catch, but the pass was off target. Mata back in punt formation. Foothill coach is telling their returner to move up a bit. He doesn't have a 40-yard leg. Maybe he does.
And he says, Coach Cornford, are you talking about me? You're right, I don't have a 40-yard leg. It's a 52-yard leg, I think. Pretty good. What a punt. Got a really nice spin off of it and pushed that Foothill Trojan offensive start back to the 25-yard line. So with 3:42, Trojans up by a touchdown, 22-15. And let's see what Coach Brandon Decker can put together for.
So most offenses, 3:42, there's plenty of time to run your typical system. They're going to run their typical system. I'm anxious to see if they try to come out of the huddle a little bit sooner, because at the typical pace they play at, they've only got about 7 plays to score in. Though they have showed that they can score quickly tonight too.
1st and 10. And Sandoval tried to make something happen. The pitchers, I mean, it's just so interesting to see the quarterbacks maybe a foot away. I mean, they're like 2 feet from each other, and he tosses the ball up, and he's kind of grabbing out of the air. It's a very, very unique optic on that double wing.
From the defensive standpoint, if you're trying to take on a block, you got to be careful about peeking for the ball, and then you get driven. So you have to really be unselfish defensively to hold your gap, you know, and then know that your linebackers will flow over the top to the right hole.
Coach said it best, no leakage, absolutely no leakage. It is 2nd and 10. Foothill takes the ball, and they hand it off to the Speedy Reynolds. He's already had 1 long touchdown run, breaks a couple of runs, and oh goodness, Foothill's still chomping at the bit to get another long run. 2:51 left here in the first half. Trojans lead 22-15.
All right, so we get another 3rd down here for Foothill. They're not in any hurry. They've got the 7-point lead, 2:49 to go on the clock after running out of bounds there. But it's a much more difficult offense to defend when you're able to go wide and just punch it up the gut like they're able to do.
3rd and 3. Big moment here for these Highland Scots late in the first half. And they go ahead and give it to their big guy. Can they bring him down? They can, but I think he got the first. And they move it. They move the chains. Got him in the ankles, which is a good place to start with Deloney, but he got past him.
Yeah, if you're a safety, you don't want to hit him up high too often because you get your mom worried up in the stands. Yeah, and for him, he loves contact. He loves playing football.
That's a great point, Coach.
They don't play him much on defense. He's one of the guys that doesn't go both ways because they realize what a threat he is offensively.
1st and 10. We're at 2 minutes now. Reynolds wrapped up quickly. And that was a big, big play. And the gentleman that made the tackle is none other than Jacob Urea. Urea got in there and got him quickly. And that's what you have to do with Reynolds. Get to him quickly.
Yeah. Again, Urea, he's the captain of that defense. And as a linebacker, it'll be his job to be tackling all these guys all night long. And he's as good a linebacker as you'll see in town.
90 seconds remains here at half. 2nd and 11. 22-15. Foothill leads Highland. Manji in trouble. Looks like a screenplay, but he better get out of trouble. And now look at this. A flag on the play, and this wonderful play by Manji's probably going to be called back. Man, oh man. Rafael Manji just put on a show, but it's holding on his teammates back there.
All right, now if you're Highland, do you think, hey, should we start burning some timeouts, maybe get a little time with the clock left? I don't know what kind of field position you get. Haven't seen Foothill punt yet. Don't know what they have. I know it's something that they don't like to do, but when it's going to be 2nd and 25 here, at least if you're Highland, you might have a shot.
And Coach Gutierrez was talking to the line judge. May have been actually telling him, hey, get ready, stay close. I'm calling some timeouts. Well, what a great job Coach Gutierrez has done here. I mean, just phenomenal job by Michael.
Well, boy, he was hired when he was just out of diapers, I think.
I remember I was there for his first game.
Yeah, and he's just come in and brought an enthusiasm and a culture and a work ethic to this school. And, they've become the dominant team in the Southeast Yosemite League.
Manji. And now they try to get around the corner again, and they can't do it with Sandoval this time. He was drugged down. A really nice play there by Diego Duenas, the big, tall Diego Duenas, and he's 6'3", 180.
And an immediate timeout there by Coach Gutierrez, who I believe was an assistant coach at Foothill before he got the Highland job.
Well, you were right, Coach. He was ready for the timeout. So it's 3rd and 29. 1 minute and 7 remaining here in this first half. Again, Coach Cornford is going to have, I grew up calling her Debbie, but Deborah Vigstrom. Vigstrom family, close friends of mine. They're Highland true and true forever. Highland, the Vigstroms are Highland mainstays. What a great job she's done with this school. I mean, every time you come here, you know you're at a campus where there's involvement and there's engagement and you can just feel it and you get a sense for it.
All right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Kaylin Deloney up the middle. You're afraid of this and you're afraid of that, and all of a sudden the big guy gets you right up the gut one more time. It's a pretty safe call. The last thing Foothill wants to do is throw the ball when you're expecting them to throw the ball. They're great at throwing the ball when you don't expect it. On a 3rd and long, I'm thinking Deloney right up the middle.
They're on the 19, and they have to get to the 49. So they need to get 30 yards and an inch for a first down. Manji rolls, looks, tosses it out there, and it's picked off at the 44-yard line. That's a mistake. And now Stevens, trying to get to the end zone, gets down to the 17-yard line. So instead of being able to boot the ball and get it down here, they throw it away, and all of a sudden Highland is just right there knocking on the door.
Yeah, that's why they don't like to throw the ball on 3rd and long. That's when most of your turnovers are going to happen with a minute to go in the half. I was thinking that they would be conservative. They went for a shot. But now, boy, Highland has really got a chance to take all the momentum going into the half here if they can get a touchdown on the board.
Wow. I really thought they were going to go with what you had said, just give it to Deloney, keep it safe, and get rid of it. But now all of a sudden Highland could tie this thing up or go more. A hard count, flags will fly. So now Coach Gutierrez is opening up the briefcase with a hard count, and it's going to be 1st and 5. But more importantly, it's just, going from the neighborhood to the sidewalk. They're getting close to that front door.
Now there's 51 seconds left in the half here, so you got to be pretty quick. Now they can go with tempo, Highland can, so that's to their advantage in this situation.
They throw it, and it's incomplete. Mata went for Valletta, and incomplete. Clock stops.
Mata kind of shaking that right hand there like he might have hit it on a helmet or something.
Boy, you hit that elbow bone on a helmet. Yikes. He's got Adrian Juarez back there behind him. Another junior. This team is going to be stacked for ages. Juarez gets a great fake from Mata, and Mata gets up to about the 4-yard line. I mean, everybody on the field thought that Juarez had it.
That stops the clock while they move the chains here, so you get a chance to get on the line, get another call in here. I don't think you need to spike the ball. Foothill's blitzing off the edges, so the inside receiver might be open here if Foothill does it again.
The drama, Mata drops back, wants to throw again, flushed out of the pocket. Mata throws it away. He gets hit from behind. Oh, goodness, the pressure from Brian Jacinto from behind. That was close to being a strip.
Or intentional grounding. I'm surprised they didn't get that call out there. Maybe they deemed his throw was affected by getting hit like that.
He was in the grasp of Jacinto and then just tossed it. And now he still seems a little banged up. His helmet's...
He wears glasses, and I think his glasses had come off. Now that his helmet's off, they're going to have to put in a backup running back or quarterback.
So that's going to be Urea. Urea will come in. And how about this? On a 2nd and goal from the 5. They bring in Urea for quarterback, but now George Venegas is going to come in and be back there with him. So, Venegas is in the Wildcat, and he might just hand the ball off, and they do. No, he keeps it. And he's thrown down by 3 or 4 Trojans, so now all of a sudden the clock stops with a timeout at 17.7, so everything's still okay. It's all still manageable. Your quarterback's going back in. JoJo Mata is going to go in with 3rd and goal from now the 7, Coach.
Yeah, and I think Foothill was pretty smart there. They realized without the quarterback in there that the chances that ball was going to be thrown were nil. And so they stacked the box there and didn't bite the initial run fake, had the guy on the quarterback and tackled him for a loss. I'll tell you what, Highland scores, they got a huge momentum boost going into half, but if Foothill holds them, those Trojans, man, they're going to be high as a kite there.
And get the football back to start the 3rd quarter.
Good point.
You're watching the Kern High Network live exclusive coverage of high school athletics here in the Kern County region. I'm Vance Palm alongside Rich Cornford, our director Julian Wilson to the right. And it is a great, great first half of football. The visiting Foothill Trojans with a packed visitor stand have 22 points, and the hometown Scots have 15. 3rd and goal from the 7, and after a timeout, their quarterback is back on the field. His glasses were dinged up, so he's back. Number 5, JoJo Mata, and he split his receivers all across that line of scrimmage. They're way out. And Juarez back there in the backfield with him. Here we go. Big play. 3rd and goal from the 7. And Mata keeps it. Rolls to his right. Throws. Tosses. And it is dropped. Incomplete. And There was one other Highland Scotsman in the very back of the end zone that may have been open for a brief second, but I think Mata had his mind up there, and a really nice effort. Actually, a pretty well thrown ball. Just
it was good coverage, good play all the way around.
Well, Coach, 12.1 seconds left. 4th and goal from the 7.
Well, Manny Valletta is the guy they like to go to in this situation. They just tried to go with him in the last play. He's got more than half of their receiving yards on the season and 4 of their 5 receiving touchdowns. So he's at the bottom of the screen here.
Huge play to end the first half. Mata in the shotgun. They go with it. They hand the ball off, and nothing happens. They give it to Juarez. Foothill stops. The crowd goes crazy, and boy, we talked about it as far as momentum. Highland picked the ball off, intercepted it at the 40-yard line, and got it into at least the 5-yard line, and couldn't punch it in. So now all of a sudden, just like you said,
really going to give their team momentum going into the half.
Wow. So Trojans will take a knee, I'm presuming, and we will go to a halftime break and come back, and Deborah Vigstrom, the principal of Highland High School, is going to come on up and spend some time with our very own Coach Rich Cornford. And at the end of halftime, we're going to have a tribute to one of my mentors, Chuck Chamberlain. And that will do it. Halftime, 22-15. What a great start. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have an interview and a tribute to a great man and a great coach. And this is a great game, 22-15. Foothill up by a touchdown. You're watching all of this on the Kern High Network. We'll be back in a bit. Thank you.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
It's wicked cool. It's our new aviation class. It gives kids a chance to break into the industry. There's a lot of careers in aviation. This class is a lot more than just flying planes.
We've learned so much already. We've learned how to take off. We've learned instrument flight rules. It's something everyone can do, I think.
Good. And you see, remember that horizon? Try to keep it parallel to your cockpit.
After the 2-year program, they're going to be able to take the knowledge test for their private pilot exam. I am a pilot. I've been in Bakersfield for 10 years. I worked as an instructor for 6 years and then became a corporate pilot. And I'm a teacher here. We have amazing equipment. Even flight schools don't have that much equipment.
You put a class like this somewhere at North High, and it's really preparing kids to succeed because it gives them a whole new set of opportunities they never knew that they had the chance to pursue. I'm proud to say that I'm from North High School and that we have administration that's willing to put the money into offering really, really neat programs like this and preparing kids to succeed.
Welcome aboard, Ryan. Appreciate you coming up here tonight. This is Ryan Guyvett. He's the principal at Foothill High School, first-year principal over there.
That's right.
You guys brought a good crowd with you tonight. Vance and I very impressed.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, thanks for having me. We're super excited to look across the way and see our crowd. But honestly, it's not been new. We've seen great crowds all year long. Of course, we opened up our new stadium this year, and first game out of the gate, the crowd is there and supporting the Trojans, and we love to see the support that we're getting.
So as a principal, what do you see the role of the football program being for a school?
Well, it's a fall sport, right? So it really sets the tone for the excitement on campus. Obviously, when you go out and have success, it creates a lot of excitement on campus. But really, it's just that whole fall season, and for us this year, being back on campus and trying to get back to some normalcy. We've got an amazing band program. You look over at the sidelines, you see a whole bunch of cheerleaders over there. So it's really just the whole program in the fall that really, I think, is creating a lot of excitement. Our band marches the halls on game day in the morning, and, we ask our kids to come out and support them, and they're at the games, and they sound amazing, and it just creates that Friday night atmosphere that I think everybody loves around a football team.
Well, up 22-15 here at the half. Coach Decker has got a heck of a coaching staff over there with him. What can you tell me about those guys?
Yeah, those guys are doing a great job. I think they're setting a great culture for our program, and they've got a winning mindset, which I think is just critical. You're not going to win all the games, but we certainly want to battle, and we've had some great games this year. Our kids come out, play hard. You can see that they believe in themselves and that they believe that they can compete and win, and that all starts with the coaching staff. So Brandon Deckard's doing a great job. Of course, we've got Mike Gregg back on the sidelines for us as the defensive coordinator. He's a former head coach for us at Foothill, so he knows our culture, he knows our campus, and he's running our defense. As you can see, our defense is doing a great job. They've done a great job all year long, and it's just really exciting to see the Trojans having success on the football field.
All right. Well, my understanding is that they have not won a league championship since 1981, and this could be the year.
Yeah, this is it's been a while. 1981, the leagues looked a whole lot different back then. There were a lot fewer schools. For years and years, the Trojans have had great tradition of success on all the athletic fields, but in particular football with Ned Permenter all those years. And so it's been really exciting, to see our kids having that success and bringing that prominence back to the football field. And, credit to the coaches, credit to the kids. They believe in what they're doing. They're playing hard, and, they're competing. And that's really what we want for our kids, is come out here and give it your best, win or lose. Hopefully at the end of the night we got more points than the other team.
Well, again, it's been a great season. I've really enjoyed watching them. Thanks for coming up and joining us tonight, Ryan.
Well, thanks for having me, Rich. It's good to see you, old friend. And, I appreciate the coverage for Foothill High School 2 weeks in a row, coming out and giving us some love with the Kern High School Network. We certainly appreciate it, and hopefully the second half's as good as the first half.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
They finished the regular season with a 14-4 record.
All right, here we are with Deborah Vixton. She's the principal at Highland High School. They're honoring the state and valley champions for their softball tonight. So football's not the only sport Highland dominates, huh?
No, it's been an awesome ride. The past 5-6 years have been an amazing period of growth athletically at Highland High School. So we've been able to bring on some great coaches, and they've been able to bring on more people, and we've seen some success. And like this year, our softball championship.
Well, that's really exciting. And you bleed green and blue. Did you go to school at Highland?
Literally, yes. Class of 1979. And so it's really great to be back. Just had my 45-year reunion, and so I do bleed blue and green. And it's amazing to sit here tonight on this field, see that Block H out there covered in pink for our breast cancer awareness. It's our new band director out there leading the field show. It's all good.
Yeah, and what a great night. I lost my mom to breast cancer, so all this, we really appreciate that, seeing the survivors earlier tonight. So you guys, the stands are packed. Mike Gutierrez was just raving. I told you earlier about the support that you give him in the program.
Yeah.
And as a former coach myself, and we've worked together ourselves too in the past, you just can't say enough about how important a role the administration plays. So from your perspective, how do you see football fitting into the culture of the school?
Well, so goes football, so goes the school. And I think, we're very lucky we picked up Mike. He was a Foothill grad, so to have him here at Highland is pretty awesome. But I took some advice from Bill Hatcher, who was a former principal at East High and then Centennial, became superintendent. And he said, hire good people and then get out of their way. So I think that's important that principals come in and hire good people to coach kids, because most of us went to school to be involved in the extracurriculars, right? So football drives your programs. Of course, once your football program gets established, you're also bringing in your baseball coaches and your soccer coaches and your swim team. And, it's just a challenge to get coaches to come in and to be on your campus. It takes a little while to do that and to get the kids bought into it. But more than X's and O's, Gutierrez and our coaches are about just building good students and trying to influence our community in a positive manner. And so that's what tonight is all about with honoring breast cancer survivor. That is that's the team, and that's what they do, and that's how they want to give back to the community. So it really is a partnership. I think that it's probably pretty rare. There are a few female principals out there, but most of us bleed our schools. Connie Grumling over at South, shout out. Libby over at Liberty, Vicki out at Frontier, but we're all doing our best to support our programs and our students. Football makes a lot of money for us.
Well, it's certainly paying off. You guys have become the dominant team in the Southeast Yosemite League. Next year, leagues realign a little bit. You'll be in there with Ridgeview and Bakersfield High, and just got to keep working.
Well, I was in a lot of that conversation about releaguing, and I sat down with Coach Gutierrez and said, look, everybody else sees us here. It's time we see ourselves here. And there was no backing out of it. So put some time in the weight room. Our other programs were having success, and they were wanting to. I had parents that come up and say, we're ready. We need to get some more competition. And so spending, last season put us a little bit behind, like every other school. But I think spending some good time in the weight room, trying to build leadership in the students outside of the classroom, off the field, will pay some dividends. That score tonight isn't quite the way I'd like to see it.
Well,
but
you got another half to go. Thank you for your time, Deb. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate you, Vance. It's awesome to be here.
All right.
Thanks.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
What a halftime. What a halftime. I mean, I'm hoping Stan Green keeps me around after this. I don't know if I'll be needed much any longer, but Coach Cornford, double sessions with both principals. Great to have Ryan up here, and then Deborah Vikstrom, and then it turned out to be a who's who red carpet. The Dean of Local Sports, Greg Kerr, rolls in. Brad Hull, a wrestling icon, rolls in. Look, it's been a great last gig. If I don't have any more, Coach, you great job, and it was nice knowing you. First half thoughts.
Well, boy, Foothill is everything I thought they were, and maybe even more. Just really impressed with them and their ball control offense and their defensive front, and they just flat get after it. Highland has a good scheme going too, but man, they're going to have to score just about every possession to keep up with these Trojans.
It's going to be a great second half, great start of the third quarter. Before we kick off here in the third quarter, Rich had mentioned something earlier in the first quarter, and we were going to touch on it, and we're going to do that now. One of my all-time great mentors and as an Arvin Bear is Chuck Chamberlain. I graduated with his son Charlie, class of 1983. A great friend. My greatest memories of Coach Chamberlain were working in the grapes and the watermelon and the corns and the pack houses and the cooling sheds, and we spent every summer doing that for most of my young teenage life and all the way through my young adult life, working out in Lamont, Arvin area. An unbelievable leader of men, a great baseball coach, an incredible football coach, an outdoorsman. But what I know most about Chuck Chamberlain, who passed away this past week, was just a great man, a great father. His sons Charlie and Brian, just wonderful guys. His wife Marshall, one of my favorite people on the planet. The obituaries hardly ever really capture the essence of a man, but the one in the Californian's beautiful. And from a coach's perspective, Coach, when someone like that passes, I mentioned it the other night to an Arvin Bear at the Bakersfield College Athletics Hall of Fame, and he just didn't know about it. He instantly teared up and had to step away and wipe his eyes. A very emotional moment from a coach's standpoint. Boy, when players lose their coach, it's a very impactful.
Yeah, and I was really fortunate. Brian Chamberlain is one of my best friends here in town. Went to church with Chuck, and we would talk. Him and me and Brian Nixon were all in the same Sunday school class. And as a young coach, to be able to just listen to Chuck. And when I first got hired on as the head coach at West, I was a bit of an unknown. And Bill Bruce, who was the principal at that time, asked me, who can I talk to that knows about you as a coach that I can rely on? I said, Chuck Chamberlain. And I got the job pretty soon after that. And so I went to Chuck, man, and they said, hey, I just got this gig. How do you get those kids to play so tough? Because those Arvin Bears under Chamberlain were just always crazy physical and tough. And I wanted to get a little piece of that. And he was very gracious with his time. And again, my kids would be waiting impatiently in the car after church, and I'm talking to Chuck every single Sunday. So he'll definitely be greatly missed. Great guy. He's in the Bob Elias Hall of Fame for a reason.
Memorial services are tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Olive Knolls Church, 6201 Fruitville Avenue. Again, it's 1 p.m. tomorrow, October 16th, Saturday, Olive Knolls Church, 6201 Fruitville Avenue. It's going to be a big service, and it's a big sanctuary, and there's going to be a lot of people there. And I plan on getting there early. It's also going to be a major reunion of sorts because Coach Chamberlain loved by so many, many people. If you're watching the game tonight here on the Kern High Network and either you weren't aware of it or certainly weren't aware of the specifics, tomorrow that service is at 1 o'clock, and it's going to be a big crowd. And I spoke to Brian, I spoke to Charlie via text, and as a class of 83 guy, and it just, said, I've lost my dad. I know what it's like. I'm here for you. And Charlie's man's man, just like his dad, and Brian, one of the most beautiful cats in the world, and I just love him, and I hope that the Chamberlain family tomorrow soak up all that love. Coach Chuck Chamberlain, you will be greatly, greatly missed by so many, many people, and Friday Night Football started for me as a young guy at Arvin. I lived about 500 yards from Frank Barley Stadium, and that Coach Chamberlain was always the head coach in my life. Coach, you will be missed.
Amen.
Third quarter action. Highland's got to put the ball in Foothill's hands. It's an 8-iron, and it's heading towards the sideline. Does it go out? Does it go out? Does it go out? Oh, goodness. How about this, Rich? It doesn't go out, and it's going to be Highland football. It doesn't go out. We saw this happen in the second quarter where a Foothill Trojan actually made the best play and just decided, all right, I'm grabbing it. This one, the Trojans thought it was going to bounce out, and the ball never went out of bounds, and the Highland Scots get it to start the third quarter.
Well, it's a funny-shaped ball, isn't it? And then it looked like it was going to go, and it just took a left turn at Albuquerque.
Wow, to start off the third quarter, the Trojans have lost every ounce of that momentum they had on a first and goal that from the 5 that the Scots couldn't get in. The Trojans stopped them, and here is an 8-iron kickoff that bobbled around and was about a foot from the sideline, just like a foul ball, a baseball going down the foul ball line, and it stays in and hits the bag.
Now they moved the ball back to the 14. I don't think they recovered it except for at the 11. So not exactly sure why they moved it back.
So how about this? 1st and 10 from the 14 to start off the third quarter. A crazy, crazy turn of events. And now it's going to be Mata, and he gets wrapped up very quickly. So this Foothill defense is going to just have to dig back in again, and that's Andrew Rios. Rios just got to get his teammates to think, hey, guys, look, all right, here we go again. Let's do what we can do. But dangerous, dangerous.
So in the red zone here, Foothill has gone to what we call, or the first play, they went to a cover 0, expecting run, which meant no safety help. Now they do have a safety deep middle and back into their typical cover 3 look.
2nd and 12, that little shovel pass again out to Juarez, and Juarez still on his feet, and he gets pushed down about the 16, 17-yard line. And just the craziest start to the third quarter. The ball looked like it was going out of bounds, and Foothill, of course, wanted to have it go out of bounds and get the ball moved up on the kickoff, and it stayed in bounds like only a football can do.
Well, this Foothill defense has played great with adversity. You know, they're faced with it right at the end of the first half, now faced with it here, and they've created a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 11. Mata looks over. Coach Gutierrez.
Cover 0.
Mata looks, throws, fires, and it is off target. And I'll tell you what, Diego Duenas was actually open. And the pass was off target. So now, although the Scotsmen had an incredible break to get the football, they're going to have to do something here, or it's going to be 2 drives in a row within the 20-yard line. They don't get in.
4th and 11. They're looking like it's all man coverage there. Don't see anybody back deep. Coach Gutierrez dialing up the play. He calls it after he sees the defense.
Mata, the ball hits the ground. Throws it up, puts it up, and it's caught for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. The ball almost hit the ground on the snap. He fires it into the corner, and it was man-to-man coverage deep in the corner. And so, unbelievable. Zephan Stevens comes down with it, and the Trojans are stunned. He had about 4 feet of space between themselves and that back pylon. And the crazy thing, Mata goes way down low to get the snap. Wow, what a play.
He did a good job putting that ball up high where only Zephan could get it. And, you know, Zephan doesn't have more than 4 catches on the year, but, boy, he just made the best catch of his career.
Here's a 2-pointer to take the lead. And how about this? Did they get in? They did. So Urea takes that little handoff on a shotgun into a trap, and he gets in 23-22. So the Trojans were supposed to have started off the drive with the football. They do not, on a mistake on the return team, and Highland does make them pay on the last play opportunity on a 4th and long, and they throw it in the back corner of the end zone, and we've got a 23-22 game. Wow.
Both of these teams showing great character, making clutch plays, having to earn every little bit of it.
I'm making my notes. writing my stats down and looking at some stuff here. 10:26. We are underway now in the third quarter. Boy, and if you're Coach Deckard and all your coaching staff, you're in there at halftime, you're in your halftime talk, and you're putting your plan together, and you've got it all dialed in, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And the kickoff, of all things, stays in bounds at about the 30-yard line. And hats off to the Scotsmen. They just kept going, and they didn't stop. And the Foothill coaching staff are thinking, we didn't plan on that.
Yeah, that was great hustle by the Scots there. But, as Foothill, you're thinking, hey, we got a 1-touchdown lead. We're getting the ball coming out. They really haven't stopped us except for, that last situation there with a few seconds left in the half. We got them right where we want them. And then that happens.
So just a complete reversal of mentality. Now here comes another kick. This one a little deeper, and I think they're going to take this one. And they do. They take it at the 22-yard line by number 22. And he's still on his feet, so it's Trevino.
Tackled by a clan of Scots.
So Foothill will get the ball.
All right, now if you're Foothill, you just got to think, hey, let's just one play. Let's not panic. Let's just do our thing. We're going to grind it up the middle with Thunder, and we'll give it out wide with Lightning, and we'll get, take about 5 minutes off this clock, and we'll have the lead again.
Only down one.
First and 10 on the 36.
Yeah, and that again brings up that big 2-point conversion that they had made earlier.
Okay, first and 10. Rafael Manji. And they put it in the hands of the big fella. Two great interviews, Coach. Appreciate your time with Ryan, Foothill High principal, and then you had Deborah from Highland High School, and two great interviews. And Ryan talked about what you had talked about with Tyson coming a little bit late, and Manji, that big 1-2 power punch,
Yeah, it was great talking with Ryan. He was my athletic director when I got hired on at Frontier. So good to see him again. He's a guy that played a little football himself in the day and understands the importance. Deb Vikstrom did too, that football can really set the tone for you.
They give it to Reynolds, go around the outside. He cuts back up, and he's still on his feet, and he not only is super, super fast, he is tough to bring down, and he was down. He was hit behind the first down marker, and then he just battled completely to get that first down.
That play has been great for them all night long. I'll bet they're averaging 10 yards a carry on that thing.
What would you call that play?
That'd be like a fly sweep or a jet sweep.
Yeah.
So you give it to your fastest guy with momentum, and it really becomes tough to stop, especially when you got a bull coming up the middle potentially too.
First and 10. Look out, ball's on the ground. Oh, he picks it up. And going to be tough. He's going to take a big hit, but man, that ball bounced right back up in his chest. And goodness gracious, Sandoval, very, very fortunate. That ball could have gone anywhere, and it bounced right back up in his chest.
Looked like Australian rules football, where you got to bounce it every 15 yards.
It did. It just came right back, and that would have been a brutal start to this third quarter to have the kickoff play and then this play. But it brings up 2nd and 10, 8.5 remaining here in this third quarter.
Both of these teams have great records, but they've both been in some pretty tight ball games. And I think it's a testament to their coaching that they've got the records they do. They win the tight ones.
They give it to the big guy, Deloney, and this time they meet him. Highland coaching staff obviously going through some of their adjustments at halftime. And when there's somebody that big and that powerful and that strong and likes to hit, a lot of times your adjustment is, hey, just try to hit him a little harder.
Well, they made a pretty good adjustment there because they bent him backwards that time, and you don't see him go backwards that often.
3rd and 8, Coach.
Yeah, now, again, this is probably 4-down territory for the Foothill, so it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to throw the ball. We've seen them run the ball for a first down in the same situation in the first half.
Well, Deloney stands behind Manji. Williams with his back to us. Reynolds with his back to us. And it's a double. Handoff, and Reynolds has it. He's got to get to the first down, does he? He does. Oh, and he tippy-toes past the marker to pick up the first down. That was a really impressive bit of running. He was tippy-toeing, falling out of bounds, but got past the marker. And I know that Ryan, your first halftime guest, talked about the fact that he really truly believes that Reynolds can play at the next level, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, when you're 4-4, and you can play offense and defense, there's a spot for you somewhere. And he mentioned that they might have another 4 guys that could potentially play at BC. And heck, in my opinion, if you're good enough to start for a couple years at BC, you're definitely good enough to go to the next level.
We had our Bakersfield College Athletics Hall of Fame on Wednesday night. Just a phenomenal night. And you talk about some guys that took their time at JC level to move it up to the top levels. It was absolutely them.
Boy, how fortunate are we to have such a great junior college here in town.
Sandoval on a counter up the middle, and he gets hit hard, and the whistles they're not coming late because the guys won't go down. So it's not a situation where they are letting guys run them over. These Foothill running backs keep churning and burning, so the refs don't blow the whistle, and then when it's time they do. So it's 2nd and 10, under 7 to go here in this third quarter. The score is 23-22. It couldn't be more dramatic for a game of a 6-1 host in Highland and a 6-0 traveling team, the Foothill Trojans.
Those Foothill stands are packed. The Highland stands are packed. Everybody enjoying themselves.
And Highland came at him, and Manji now able to just slip one tackle, and a big flag comes from the back judge, and he threw that about 25 yards. Couple of flags. And the Foothill Trojans, Brian Jacinto is one of the Trojans pointing at Highland, and maybe have been a face mask. Coach might have been super obvious.
Yeah, that would be my guess coming from way back there like that.
Here's the call, personal foul, face mask. It is first down, Trojans.
That's going to move them up to right about the 20-yard line. So watching this double wing, this is there's a guy named Markham that came up with this thing probably a little over 20 years ago. And, the whole mentality, he took over a program down in L.A. that hadn't won much, but he played 9 guys both ways, I think. And since they do that, they walk to the line of scrimmage. They just snap the ball every 40th second, right on time. But he ended up scoring like 600 points that year. And, Wasco had run this offense for a long time, and it's very tough to get off the field if they're bigger and stronger than you up front.
Manji gives it to the big fella, and that's Deloney. Deloney right up the middle, maybe 3-4 yards. And we're going to dip below the 6-minute mark here in 4 seconds.
So Lucian Croney there on the stop. He's one of the top defenders for Highland. Hadn't really mentioned his name yet, but he's a guy that they depend on up front. He's number 2 on their team in tackles with 48 on the season.
Very deliberate drive, Foothill. Thought this would be their second drive of the half. It's not. Again, Reynolds to the outside on the sweep. Lowers the shoulder and barrels his way inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal from about the 7-yard line.
Well, Brian Jacinto, I mentioned his name in the first half when he pulled left down here. That time he's pulling right. He plays guard, and he is extremely mobile at 230 pounds. And, when they've had success running the ball outside, he's been the lead blocker for it. So, these backs get a lot of the credit, as they should.
No joke.
But he is a heck of an offensive lineman.
He is no joke. 5:28. The clock stopped with Reynolds going out of bounds, but first and goal from the 8-yard line. Manji hands off to the big fella, and Deloney gets tripped up, but he barrels his way to about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see if Foothill just keeps giving him the ball these next couple plays. They tried to put him at a wing one time for a 2-point conversion, and that wasn't as good. But when he's got a head of steam going downhill, he has not been stopped for less than 2 yards, I think, all night long.
We will now go below 5 minutes here in the third quarter. Deloney stands again right behind Monji. They give it to Reynolds to get to the outside. Highland reads it well this time, and they battle Reynolds 4-on-1, and they got him. Very, very good job by that Highland defense.
Now they're going to have to do it 2 more times. So that's, that was a great job stretching that play out wide, forcing him to bounce it there, and then bringing the reinforcements in to get him down. Lost about 2 yards on that, so it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 4. But this is an offense created for this situation. Highland fans going crazy over
Starting
here.
to make some noise now. They give it to Deloney. Can he muscle his way in the end zone? And it is super close, super close. No whistles yet. I see some Foothill staff members down there. One of them's the principal standing at the goal line thinking he got in. Oh, man, it is going to be 4th and inches.
Yeah, good push by the Foothill offensive line. It got them 3.5 yards. Now they're just a short breath away here. And any guesses as who's going to get the ball?
Well, I have a feeling it's Deloney, but since everybody on the Highland side of the defensive line is thinking the same thing, you never know. We'll see. How about this for a big play? And they try to jam it in himself, and he does. He gets it. Raphael Mange, the quarterback, muscles it through, and the Trojans are up. Good call.
Foothill Trojan football at its best right there.
That's
just
a good call.
Grinding you.
I mean, you have this much to go, and you got the big power guy that can probably push 8 guys through, but bam, that just quick strike, get him through there. Good
Don't
call.
outthink it, yeah. All right, big 2-point conversion here, Vance.
28-23, 5-point lead. They get the 2, keeps it within a touchdown and a field goal for the Scotsmen.
Don't get the 2, though.
Yes, Coach.
This is where, it gets dicey here. Then you're up 5, and,
anything can happen. Okay, as Coach said, very big 2-point conversion here. Deloney behind Monji. My bet is Reynolds. Monji tries to get it himself, and he does not. They hold him up, and they throw him down. And, man, there's a lot of Highland dudes on that quarterback, and all the Foothill guys were behind him. So they hold him. 28-23, a big stop by the Highland defense, and everybody stayed home and caught the quarterback. Still, with 3:11 left in the 3rd quarter, this one's shaping up to be a classic, Coach. Dare I say an instant classic? Can I use that?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. We've had a number of lead changes here. We've had the 2 best teams in this league up to this point of the year going after each other. I think both coaches called an excellent game offensively, and the other time trying to, adjust defensively to slow the other team down.
We will have the Kern High Network Player of the Game T-shirt being presented tonight. Coach Cornford makes the final call on that. We'll talk it out, but we are a long, long, long ways away from that. But someone's getting the Kern High Network T-shirt, and you're thinking, that's it, a T-shirt? Trust me when I tell you. When you're the only dude all week that gets it, and there's 15 games going on in Kern County, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's that little bit of swag wear that you get to wear on campus.
Nobody else has.
Yeah, you got to earn it.
Right.
Can't be bought.
Right. A funny story about that. I'll kill 10 seconds with it. I have one T-shirt, right? I like it. It's a cool one, and it's the actual one that the players get. I think Stan gave us all one a couple years ago, and I've had that for a long time. My daughter, Ava, always tried to wear it. I said, no, you're not wearing it. You got to earn one of these. So she went out the next night in volleyball at BHS and had a pretty good game. And Louis Amistoy actually made the call and got her a T-shirt. She just came home and goes, I don't need to wear yours. And I said, well, you had to earn it, baby. You had to earn it. I wouldn't give you mine. No way. Here we go. Deloney will kick off. Southpaw boots it. And look at this one. Are you kidding me? Boy, these out-of-bounds kicks are something else.
Didn't go out by much.
He angled it right over to the 15-yard line, but they as well trying to keep it away from these speedy return men. It's not just the Trojans that have dangerous return guys. And it looks as though they made a huge.
Thought Highland was going to take it at the 35,
Well, yeah,
but they're
I mean,
telling them kick it again.
Yeah, I saw like 7 Trojans go off the field, so I'm thinking, all right.
Well, Highland's got some dangerous return guys back there. They want to give them a shot. You know, as a coach, I always wanted to, hey, kick it again. We think you're kicking it out of bounds and at angles for a reason, you know, because you don't want our guys to get it. I want to give them another chance at it.
Matt Garcia back there with Manny Valletta. Now let's see what Deloney does this time. Deloney trying to keep it in and does. Puts a hard boot to it, but it's taken at the 20. Pretty good field position and knocked down at the 45-yard line is Patrick Corkins. So Corkins puts him in a good spot.
Good job by Corkins going north and south with that, not dilly-dallying, you know, and trying to run sideways. He got as many yards as you could.
Corkins looking for the end zone.
I talked a little bit about some Foothill offensive linemen. Andrew Turney, number 55, is probably the top lineman for Highland. He's 6'3", 245 up front and has done a solid job for them all season. Senior.
1st and 10. Mata screaming at that young man right there. He wanted to put the football in his hands. He's like, hey, you better get over here. And we don't have 20 in our lineup, so it possibly could be also a JV player. And I don't believe the public address announcer has his name because the public address announcer gave me my roster. We do not have him.
Speedy. All right, and their version of the jet sweep.
Right.
Run from their shotgun-based offense.
So 2:37 and counting. A 5-point lead for Foothill over the Scots. 2nd and 3 inside the 50-yard line now. Highland, quick throw out here to the near side of Valletta. Valletta makes a good move and runs into some big contact. Ooh. And the one you don't want to run into, he ran into, and that's Andrew Rios.
Good job blocking out there by the Highland receiver, setting that up for a first down. Again, Valletta's their top receiver, and it's not even close between him and the next guy. But these other guys understand their role too. Is that, hey, they're going to block their tails off out there. And that was a good job getting the first down.
1st and 10. They're at the Foothill 42-yard line. The score is 28-23. Foothill leads by 5. Mata has to go down and get it. Mata over here to the near side, and he was out of bounds, so probably about 3 yards before that contact. And we're below the 2-minute mark here now in the 3rd quarter.
Highland just needs to be patient. Take it one play at a time here. They've been able to move the ball consistently against this Trojan defense, mostly by going outside the tackles.
Mata, hand signals everywhere, and he gives to Juarez. Juarez gets to the 34-yard line. And they're going to be awfully close to a first down. Not going to get it. 3rd and 1.
Boy, great lead block there by Christian Cisneros. He's got 10 pancakes on the year, and he almost had another one on that one.
Hurry up offense. Juarez again. And now Highland's starting to pick up the pace a little bit. And Juarez jams it through for a first down.
A lot of these guys on both teams are going both ways, and this is where that conditioning really has to pay off for you. You might be a little bumped, a little bruised, a little winded, but you got to find it.
And they're moving the sticks. I thought somebody called a timeout. I didn't think that would have been the smartest thing. Foothill's going to want them late, and Highland's on the move, so it's just moving the sticks more than anything. Mata sends Stevens way out to the left. Got a touchdown pass, and he's got a 3-pack over here to the right side, and they still with Juarez. So now here comes Coach Gutierrez on the ground.
Trying to spread you out to find a way to run it inside. They've struggled to do that all night long. Solid gain there of 3 yards on first down. Setting the formation into the boundary here. If you don't put enough guys out there, he'll flick that little short bubble screen out there on you. Now they're bunched up in tight.
They go with that little shovel pass again. Juarez out there makes a nice nifty move, gets knocked out of bounds, but not until he picks up a big first down. They will move the sticks. Here come the Scotsmen with 55 seconds left to go in the 3rd.
That's the third or fourth time we've seen that play. Always run to their right, to the short side of the field over there. It's obviously something they scouted out. That's the most effective it's been so far.
Mata now shifting everybody out to the wide side, the left side. Hard count, nobody jumped. They give it to Juarez again. He's trying to get outside, cuts back up against the grain and gets a nice gain up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. That's a big, strong run by Adrian Juarez. And again, I look at this roster and all these big names that we're calling off are juniors, Coach.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, and they're moving up to the, changing leagues probably at just the right time for them. Again, this was supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Highland Scots, and they're sitting at 6-1.
Mata looking for the end zone. I think he's going to get it. He will. Touchdown, Highland.
Again, showing their diversity there with the inside game, the outside game. You got JoJo Mata scoring there after faking to Adrian Juarez.
Touchdown, Scotsman.
This is the most points that the Trojans have given up all year. And we're still just in the third quarter. 18 seconds left in the third.
So the Scotsman. Austin Powers liking the 2-point conversion call. Mata looks, keeps, rolls. He's in trouble. Will he get there? He will not. Great job by the Trojan defense. They did not let Mata get in, and it remains a 1-point game, 29-28. Your thoughts, Coach?
Well, that was as naked a bootleg as you're going to have because there was nobody running a route in that direction. He had to do it on his feet, and the Foothill Trojans did a good job of containing him there. So, again, these missed conversions are kind of the story of the game right now, with it just being a 1-point lead for the Scots.
29-28. And that northeast breeze is starting to come across the plains of Panorama Drive.
Starting to make me wish I did have a long sleeve shirt or a jacket on.
It starts to become legendary at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, 1-point lead. Highland up by 1, 29-28 as we go into the fourth quarter here in 18.7 seconds. What kind of kickoff will it be? Last time we saw Highland kick, 2 kicks ago, they started off the third quarter with an 8-iron that stayed inbounds, and it became the precursor to a touchdown.
Well, they don't want to kick it anywhere near Tyson Reynolds. That's why they're trying to keep it wide, and the bonus for that was they were able to recover their last one.
Here's a pitching wedge for sure. They got to get on it. The ball is covered up by the Trojans. Do a nice job. 2 Trojans just jump right on that thing, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. 17.6 seconds remain in this third quarter, and man, we have a fourth one. It's going to be spectacular.
That was JoJo Mata doing the kicking and doing a good job of finding open space. Just, get it over the front row head and let it land somewhere. If it takes a funny bounce, that's a bonus. All right, Foothill, second verse, same as the first. They're going to come out here, try and just pound the rock, use up as much clock in this half as possible.
1st and 10 on the 35 for the Trojans.
Mata hands the ball off. Sorry, Manji to Reynolds. And I had the wrong quarterback come out of my mouth, but it's Manji handing it off to Reynolds. And, boy, with 8.1 seconds left, that's a big bite of yardage.
You can see Reynolds has a gear that nobody else on the field has. When he, shifts into that gear, man, it's explosive.
Maybe in the county. We don't know. We've got a fast city player and a fast county player that we were talking about.
All right, so 8 seconds left. Ball went out of bounds, so the clock stopped. Inside Highland territory now. Double wing. They've been in it all night, every snap.
Ball's at the Highland 42, 1st and 10. And they give it to the big guy. And Deloney takes it up to about the 38-yard line. So they'll switch sides, and they'll be right in front of us going the other way. We'll take a short break. 29-28 as we head into the fourth quarter on the Kern High Network. Don't go anywhere.
We are these fields. We are these roots. We see the beauty in the everyday, with pride from where we came. We look ahead, to the places that pull us together, to the places that we call home. A new chapter begins now. Kern Schools Federal Credit Union is now Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Visit valleystrong.com/grow to learn more.
All right, everybody, here we go. Fourth quarter action, 29-28. The Scots up by 1. The Trojans have the football at the Highland 39-yard line. We start the fourth quarter here on Kern High Network. What a pleasure to be with you. I'm Vance Palm. I've got to my left Coach Rich Cornford, championship coach. And to my right, Julian Wilson, champion dude, our director. 12 minutes on the game clock left in this fourth quarter. Stop what you play for a second here, even with the quarter. Here we go. 2nd and 6. And a great job by the Foothill coaching staff. They saw that at the end of the third quarter. The linebacker for the Scotsman had actually timed it really well, but I think right now one of the coaches on the Foothill side said, can we just do one hard count at least? Just one, stall your cadence one time.
Yeah, one of the ways you try to stop this offense is by timing that snap count and shooting somebody through the gap. And it can be successful until the offense hard counts you, gets a free 5.
And that's a big free 5. I mean, you start the fourth quarter off with a first down. That's great. Now it's going to be 2nd and... Oh, ball's on the ground. The ball's on the ground, and the Scotsmen think they have it. They believe they have it, and that was a pure fumble. And, oh, my gosh, did Monji... Who has it? Monji's in there making his case. I saw the ball pop out, no question about it. But I didn't see who got it. I did not see who landed on it. My vision was blocked. Big call by the officials. What's it going to be? 3rd down. So again, that's 2 times now those Scotsmen have jumped up.
Well, I think it's one of those things Coach Gutierrez coaches, you know, that, hey, 50-50, if you can make that official think, hey, that was ours.
You're right, Coach.
Okay, so third and 2 here. This is Highlands had a difficult time stopping them in short yardage. This is exactly where Foothill wants to be in a drive, is in 3rd and short.
Monji, Deloney behind him, and they give it to Deloney, and he muscles his way through there. And if they let him get loose, look out, look out, look out. Oh, man. And he barreled down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, when Foothill just base blocks it and gives it to Deloney, they're getting a great push up front. Again, we've talked about a couple of their linemen already. Jose DeVille, 6'2", 250. getting a good push as well.
The black and gold shoes that Deloney wears. Easy to find him out there if he wasn't already one of the easier guys to find. 1st and 10, below 11 minutes now. And they give it to, look out, Tyson Reynolds. Reynolds looking to get free, and Reynolds grab, but still able to get out of the fingertips of Louis Quadras. And Louis Quadras had him for a second, but Reynolds just doesn't stop moving.
I thought that was a face mask the way he spun around, but nobody's complaining and no flag out. So, boy, fun to watch these guys run the ball. Like I said, it's Zonka and Mercury Morris. If you ever watched the Dolphins in the early 1970s.
1st and 10. Ball is at the 15-yard line. Manji. And this time, they give it to the man that got them the first touchdown of the night, and he gets them another one, Kevin Sandoval. 2 touchdown runs tonight for Sandoval.
The Trojans just, boy, doing a great job of mixing it up. I mean, they come out in the same formation every time, but with the different motions and the different wrinkles that they've put in this double wing offense, you just never know who's getting the ball.
They're running it well. 34-29. Back to that 5-point lead now.
You know, I really expected it to be the Caden Deloney show. You know, looking at the stats and just hearing about him. And he's had a great game, but he's got some other guys. He's got a great line in front of him. Some great compliments out there at running back. Now, for the first time, we see the Trojans in a different set.
And it's going to be Monty. Does he get in? Oh, he gets hit at the 1-yard line. I mean, he got popped at the 1-yard line. Doesn't get in. Remains a 5-point difference. Woo, what a big hit. I mean, he was literally almost in there. I mean, he was right there at the line. He took a hit and went backwards.
And these 2-point conversions, you know, or the lack of them is really going to come into play here. So, again, we got a heck of a fourth quarter on our hands. 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go here. And back and forth battle all the way.
34-29. Foothill's up. 10-10 left in the fourth.
In other action, Garces 21, BHS 10.
Oh, my goodness, what a big score that is. 2 big games tonight, and going to send some oohs and ahs around the city when these scores are being read out. And I can tell you that this one right now is going to get some oohs and ahs when it gets reported in some of the other press boxes.
Well, there always comes that test. You know, Highland has pretty well established themselves. Foothill, probably, you know, for most of us, they came out of nowhere a little bit. And how real are they? And they're showing tonight that they can play with one of the best teams in town, toe-to-toe here, and they've got the lead in the fourth quarter.
Another wobbler, and it hits a Highland Scotsman. And could this happen to the Trojans get it? And that, what are they going to say? It is. They're going to say Trojans football. And that ball just, it was like a corkscrew. It just kept going around and around and around and around, and it bounced off a Highland player at the onset of it, and he had to kind of jump on it to try to get it. And the Highland Scotsman, he's got to feel horrible. He just tried to get it, but the ball was spinning and had a weird spin on it, had a weird corkscrew kind of a motion to it, and Foothill gets the ball back. We've seen it all.
We have, and you know, we've seen Foothill's defense step up when they had to under adversity. Now we'll see if the Scots have got that same moxie.
Wow. What a kick by Kalen Deloney. And they might put it right back in his hands now. No, they put it in the hands of Reynolds. Reynolds wrapped up and thrown down by Jacob Urea. So Urea gets him and tosses him down. Big loss. Good start in the defensive effort.
Great job of Urea reading that counter and attacking, pressing downhill. 5-yard loss for this Foothill offense is not what they want to do on first down. I would be surprised in second down or if they get it to third, if Foothill will try to throw again. It hasn't looked good when they tried to do that earlier. It really cost them. So I'm expecting them to pound the rock here for the next couple of plays, probably next 3 plays, because I think they're probably thinking 4-down territory.
Sandoval with his back to us. And they give it to Deloney. This time he stopped at about the 33-yard line.
Picked up about 3, so that's going to be 3rd and 12.
An official's timeout.
Official timeout.
I have no idea what it is, but it's stopping this game in its tracks. They start the clock again. 9:12 and counting. 3rd and 11, big 3rd down. Double handoff. And Reynolds trying to get to this side, and he makes some contact at about the 26-yard line. That's not going to be enough. It'll be 4th and 5.
Boy, it looked like that tackler brushed against his face mask there, but no call.
You know, Reynolds doesn't try to win an Oscar, does he? He just keeps playing. He doesn't try to do the head snap to get a call. He just keeps going.
Yeah, he's tougher than a woodpecker's lips, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is proof that Coach Cornford just came back from Oklahoma. He picked up a nice one there. Way to go. 4th and 6, timeout on the field. For those of you that have just came over to us, either from our other game that we're calling tonight, which was West and Ridgeview, thank you for being here. I'm Vance Palm, Rich Cornford to my left, our director Julian Wilson to the right, and we have a superb football game over here at Highland tonight. The Trojans of Foothill, 34. The Highland Scots, 29. And a timeout is on the field, and the official down here is wanting to say he wants to talk to somebody in Highland administration. He stopped the game earlier, and he's a long-time official. He's been around a long time, so he is talking to one of the guys on the radio. I don't know if that's the timeout or if
they
one of the
mentioned
teams.
a whistle, earlier, that somebody in the stands might have a whistle. I haven't heard one, but we got these headsets on here. But if that's the case, they're maybe trying to get a handle on that. But 4th and 6 right now, trying to get in Coach Decker's head. You're not a real passing offense. You got some speed to the outside. You got a bull moose on the inside. Anxious to see what he goes with here. If I were to guess, I'm guessing it's coming to Tyson Reynolds. That's been their most consistent 5+ 6-yard gains on the evening.
Here we go, big play. Trojans up 5, but here's the 4th and 7. And they go back to the shotgun. They stretch it out. And one of the big fellas is Eric Polanco, number 84, and he's going way out to the left. They haven't used him a lot tonight. They did last Thursday night. 4th and 6. And there's movement on the Trojans. Movement on the Trojans, and one of the linemen was so upset he tapped the other lineman on the shoulder pads like, dude.
Sometimes you just outthink yourself a little bit. But, again, that's 4th and 6 is not their ball game. They want everything 3 yards and less. Looks like they're bringing out the punt unit, which we haven't seen all night.
Or it's at least a different package to where they're going to not try that play they had before. We'll see. Kalen Deloney does it all, so he's the punter too. But that's a guy that if he felt like faking it and got ahead of steam, he could get 10 yards.
If I'm Highland right now, I am treating this like a normal situation. I don't think I'd put anybody back. We're going to load the box because this guy scares me to death.
They do punt. It's a wobbler. It could turn out to be a great one. How about this? Okay, either way, 12-yard line. Pretty nice. It worked out okay for Foothill, although they probably would have preferred to capitalize on this fumbled kickoff. So we've just seen a complete topsy-turvy football game all night long. There's never been a dull moment tonight in this whole game.
Yeah, every play has just been so critical. And now we've got 8:37 to go. Highland's got 88 yards of real estate before they get into the end zone here. And, they've moved the ball pretty consistently all night long.
1st and 10 on the 12 for the
Okay. JoJo Mata in the shotgun. Low snap. He goes down to get it, fires one, lets it fly. It's up there for a long time, and it's incomplete, no flags. So Mata on the run just spins it 45 yards. Wow.
Yeah, put that ball up there. That's the first real deep shot we've seen by them. They had the one in the end zone that was a medium, but Mata showing some good arm strength on that throw.
We don't see it all night long, and then in the fourth quarter, with 8.5 left to go, down 5, deep in their own territory, he lets it fly.
2nd and 10 now, 8:31 to play. Trips to the left.
And it's a running play. Look out, everybody. And Reynolds able to chase him down, but I'll tell you what, Juarez was looking at the end zone. He thought he had it, but then again, you've got Tyson Reynolds tracking you down, and Reynolds barking at his teammates, getting on his linebackers a little bit like, don't let that happen. That can't happen.
Yeah, that's really the first time we've seen Juarez break free there and get a really big chunk of yards.
They quickly go to Juarez right again, and he picks up another 5 yards. So we've seen Highland in this ground game in the second half really try to enforce their will.
And they are going with more tempo. I mean, they don't huddle, but now they're snapping the ball a lot sooner than they had, and it seems to be working for them.
2nd and 5, under 8 to go. They trail by 5, 34-29, Foothill, undefeated. 6-0. Juarez, another big, strong, tough run, and he falls into a first down after being hit by 2 or 3 Trojans. And now it's getting physical late. And Noah Sanchez made a tackle that kept the run at about 5 yards. It could have been a lot more, and that ball is now right below us at the 45-yard line, inside Trojan territory, 7.5 and counting.
Foothill moving into a cover 0 here. No free safety. Manned up. Looks like all the way around.
Taking a long time to get this play off. They finally do. Mata looks, throws to the near side, has a man open, and Manny Valletta had him. And everybody on this side, the Highland side that we're on top of, let out a big O, and everybody over there, I can't hear him, but I'm sure even the Foothill crowd was like, ooh.
So Foothill showing cover 0, dropped into cover 3, but that allowed the slot receiver there to just go unmolested through what we call the seam there, and they had him open, just overthrew him by about 1.5 yards.
2nd and 10. Duenas and Guinto on the right side. Stevens right here below us on the left side, and in the backfield again is Juarez. And this time they fake the shovel pass to the left, and trouble. And an open field tackle, Will Zelandia.
Yeah, Highland, the receivers out here were still looking at the sideline when that ball ended up being snapped, so they didn't get any blocking over there. Someone broke free inside. Highland moving their tight end in the game on a 3rd and 11. And their tight end wears an ineligible number, 77. So I don't think he'll be going out for a pass.
3rd and 11. Huge play for the Highland offense right here. Just a huge play. Mata drops back. Urea slides in front of everybody. Mata hard counts, nobody goes. They give it to Urea. Can he find the gap? Oh, and he slips. He slips, fell down at the 45-yard line. Looked like he had some good momentum, but he made a hard cut with his left foot, and his cleats just gave way.
Okay, 4th down and 10, 6 minutes to go here. You've had a difficult time stopping the Foothill offense. So Coach Gutierrez, this is why he gets paid the big bucks, and I say that sarcastically. It looks like they're going to go for it here.
And wouldn't be surprised, well, exactly what I was thinking. Timeout is called, and it's going to be by the Foothill staff. 5:54 remains in this fourth quarter. It is a 34-29 lead. 5 points for the Trojans. That's the cushion they have. This is a 4th and 10. It's on the 45-yard line. right below us. We're standing on the 45-yard line up here in the stands. Sitting for just a moment is our director, Julian Wilson, taking a quick break. Typing away, getting things out for Twitter, getting things out on at KHSD. Julian Wilson and Kevin Willey, if it wasn't for these two guys, you wouldn't hear us or see us. And we certainly want to take this brief opportunity to thank Principal Deborah Vikstrom, who a great interview this halftime. AP of Instruction, Mindy Carter. AP of Administration, the great Brad Hull. Dean of Students, Jasper King. Dean of Students, Kim Bravo. Athletics Director, Justin Finch. And the Activities Director, Megan Barber-Smith. Here is a big, big play. 4th and 10. They need to get to the 35. Mata in the shotgun. Drops back, takes a look. He's going to throw, maybe. He gets flushed out of the pocket. Ball's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Trojans. Stripped out and picked up by Noah Sanchez. So they didn't get the first down. They lost the football. Not the end of the world. They had to go a long ways to get the first down anyway, but to lose 6 or 7 yards on the fumble puts the Trojans 1st and 10 at the 48. So nice effort there by that Trojan front for flushing them out. Great job.
So Highland shifted into an empty set, and they had a good matchup with the back on a linebacker there, but the pass rush by Foothill brought it home there, didn't allow Mata to step up, and ended up sacking him, forcing that fumble. So huge play for the front line of the Foothill Trojans.
West wins over Ridgeview tonight, 28-9. Nick Harris, the Kern High Network player of the game. Nick Harris, jersey number 1. And now the Trojans come back with the big fella, Kalen Deloney. While we have a quick break in the action, Coach, I just want to make sure we mention all these great officials tonight. It's been a very, very well-called football game. Great job, guys. The referee, Les Huber. Umpire, David Matthias. Head linesman is Paul Hernandez. The line judge, Steve Rogers. The back judge, Ricky Serrano. And in the box, Reggie Tisdale. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows to go on to www.kcoafootball.com. More on that in a minute. 2nd and 6. Reynolds caught in the backfield, thrown down by Urea. They read it well, and that's happened already a couple times. They caught him and flung him back.
Yeah, Urea's having a heck of a ball game in here. Just love the way he plays downhill, presses it for those big losses. And now, boy, a couple drives in a row. Foothill's in unfamiliar territory, 3rd and 14. 4:48 to go. Highland still got timeouts, so huge play of the game right here.
4:40 and counting. Sorry, Coach.
I'm just anxious to see how risky Foothill gets here. They tried to throw at the end of the first half there through the pick. I've got to think that they're going to keep it on the ground here, probably give it to the big guy.
Crowd's going crazy. Manji. And they use Reynolds as a lead blocker, and they give it to the big fella. Deloney gets up to midfield, so that's going to bring up 4th and 8. They brought Reynolds back in and to kind of just be a lead blocker, but I think Maloney's going to have to punt this, so the Highland High Scotsmen hold again, and with the ball exactly on the spot, 50-yard line, Foothill's going to have to punt this ball away, and deep will be Manny Valletta.
All right, Manny's dangerous back there. With Delaney kicking, you never know where the ball is going to go. You just put your best athlete back there, tell him to put his foot on the ball.
They fake it. It's to Reynolds, and he falls down. He slipped. They fake the punt. Reynolds slips. And after Deloney had a good punt, the previous one, I didn't even expect it. They got me.
Yeah, they got themselves too, though. Just unfortunate. You give it to your fast guy, and he slipped. There might have been some room there. I don't know. Highland was bringing a lot of guys on pressure. They had no clue that fake was coming, but they had enough guys get penetration that it caused them to slip.
Wow, 1st and 10 now for Highland inside Foothill territory. Ball's at the 48-yard line. 3:36 and counting. JoJo Mata in the backfield as quarterback. He takes the snap, another low one, gives it to Juarez. Juarez breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles. You got to be kidding. Now Juarez puts the move on Reynolds. Oh, what a move. Adrian Juarez with a burst to the line of scrimmage and then a spectacular move in the open field. And there aren't too many players that could have put a move on Tyson Reynolds.
No, that was a great cut, though. And he didn't have to be real fancy. He just got that right foot in the ground, made him miss there. And, we've been talking, they bottled him up for most of the three quarters there. But that's the second big run of the fourth quarter, and none bigger than that one.
A great play call, excellent execution, and then that stud, Adrian Juarez, breaks through the line. He is super, super quick. And the only guy maybe quicker on the field is Tyson Reynolds, but Juarez just made that one shifty dig into the grass, and he cuts towards the pylon, and even Tyson said, oh, he's gone. How about this? So Highland up by 1, 35-34, and they're going to talk it over, because if they do go for 2 and they get it, that'll make it a field goal game, and the Trojans have not shown that they have that in their arsenal, so it's almost like a touchdown game. So a timeout on the field, and wow, this has just been fantastic. 3:24 left in the fourth quarter. I'm Vance Palm, Rich Cornford, Julian Wilson joining me here tonight. We're at Scotland Yard, and you have an undefeated team in Foothill, and Coach Cornford alluded to it that, not everybody was 100% sure really where they were in this 6-0 record, but now everybody knows where they are. They're absolutely for real, and they're taking on this 6-1 perennial powerhouse team in the SYL, Highland High. And so now all of a sudden, we're looking at a barn burner instant classic here, 35-34. Big 2-point conversion. If they don't get it, it stays within 1. If they get it, it's a field goal difference. Mata wants to take it himself. He does not get in, or does he? I don't see. No, he doesn't. Ooh, that was close. So Mata does not get in. Keeps it a 1-point game, Coach.
Well, this kickoff is huge here, all right, because you got a Foothill team that likes to ground and drive the ball. If they can somehow hold Foothill behind their 30, it's going to be really tough. But if Foothill gets this ball about midfield, then, you got probably 50-50 ball game.
And I'm laughing as you say it just because we've seen everything on kickoffs tonight. We've seen it all. And I didn't get to finish my thought, and I want to make sure I do it because these officials have just done a fabulous job tonight. www.kcoafootball.com, the Kern County Officials Association. And they do such a fabulous job in all the sports. While this is going on, there's volleyball going on. In the wintertime, there's wrestling, there's soccer, there's basketball. In the springtime, there's track and field. There's so many things that go on. And if you are looking to get involved in something to help the community out, if you are a young lady or a young man and you're in college, you're out of college, you're looking for something to do and you want to be a part of it, you've always wanted to be a part of the action, and it's a great opportunity. So go to the website and make mention of it that you want to be involved.
Yeah, it is a great way to stay involved in sports. Maybe after your playing days are over, get out there, be a small part of the action.
I saw a young coach down there just looking up here, giving us a high five. The ball goes on the ground, and it is caught and covered up. So that was a great job by Sandoval to get down there.
All right, 3:23 to go. I imagine they'll come out of the huddle a little bit faster than they normally do. But, you've got Tyson Reynolds, who can obviously take it the distance anytime he touches it, and then Kalen Deloney. That you don't have to get pass happy here if you're Foothill. Run your offense, use the misdirection, pound with Deloney, just pick up the pace a little bit more than normal.
On that long touchdown run by Juarez, Deloney was in there. He was playing defense. He was in there, and he's actually came off the field a little gimpy, so not quite sure what's going on there, but 1st and 10, here we go, Manji. And they just start right up the middle with the big guy to the 42-yard line, gain of about 3.5, 4 yards. Clock continues to tick. We will dip below 3 minutes here in 10 seconds. And Deloney's taking a long, long time to get up.
Said Jim Brown used to do that. Always got up super slow, so you never knew if you hurt him or just the way it was. But in this instance, you might tell him, hey, get up a little faster because the clock is not on our side.
They don't seem to be doing anything out of that slow, deliberate move that they normally do, and they give it to Deloney again, and this time he goes up the middle again, and they probably got about 2 yards, so it's going to bring up a long 3rd and 5, and I say long because this Highland defense has really started to rediscover who they are here in this second half.
All right, right now, Caden Deloney looks like he's pretty darn tired. That makes me think Tyson Reynolds is going to be the next guy to touch the ball. And if I'm Highland, I move an extra guy opposite Tyson because he's only going to get the ball coming one way most likely.
And they put it in the hands of their stalwart runner, Kevin Sandoval. He's had 2 touchdowns tonight, but that run right there was as big of a big run as he's had all night, picking up the first down, moving the sticks, and we're exactly at the 2-minute mark. And a little bit of an insight for you. As we were calling that touchdown play and they went into the extra point, the Dean of Local Sports, Greg Kerr, went by us and nestled himself right next to us to get a shot of that extra point because that was a big one. And now he's hustled down. He's been there. He's been at this game the entire game tonight from kickoff to right now. It's a big one. 1:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. They go to the air. Manji looks, tosses it out, and it's caught. And Tyson Reynolds makes the catch. Sure, he took a big hit, and it was an ooh and an ah decleater, but hey, how about a big, big catch out there for Tyson Reynolds? So Coach Deckard mixing it up with 1:28 left.
Gives him a first down, momentarily stops the clock at 1:25 to go. Now the clock is running.
Did not go out of bounds, so they moved it for a second. How about this? 1:15 and counting. They have got to hurry up and get down the field. It's 1st and 10. Now Reynolds opens a hole for Delaney. And the big guy, Deloney, gets up to the 32-yard line.
Foothill has some timeouts that they can use.
And that clock is racing now. Everybody nervous.
Under a minute to go.
And they are taking their time getting up there. Some precious, precious seconds clicking off that clock. 43, 42, 41. It's 2nd and 4. Now it is Manji again going to the air. Look out behind you. Manji tosses one up, throws it, and it is dangerously out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. 31 seconds left. 31.1 to be exact.
So with 31 seconds left, you got the ball right at about, the 34-yard line?
Yep.
You're looking at 3 yards to go for the first down. I'm thinking I'm going to try and get that first down, with a run play, which could break, and then you got to, I think, take shots to the end zone after that.
Ooh, boy. 35-34. The home team, Scots, up by 1. All their crowd right below us, you can hear them.
All right, they've gone to that shotgun spread. They've been 0 for 2 from this formation tonight.
Manji, and a whistle blows, and that's going to be Coach Gutierrez taking a timeout before, and I mean right before the snap called. It was a millisecond before that snap is made. So 30.2 seconds remain. It's a 35-34 game. It's 3rd and 4. And the ball is at the Highland 33-yard line. Coach, walk us through the mentality of both coaches right now.
All right. First thing, if I'm Coach Gutierrez over here, I'm telling them don't jump off sides. This is the time when a lot of teams are going to use a hard count, try to get the free 5 yards. So don't jump off sides. If they're in the shotgun formation, hey, linebackers, you take care of the running back. All right, DBs, nothing gets behind you here. Give them a dime. Don't give them $1. What that means is give them something short, come up and tackle it, but don't let anybody get over the top of you.
All right, now if you're Coach Deckard and that Foothill squad, what are you saying to your team over there?
If I'm Coach Deckard, I'm thinking, hey, we're gonna work for first down here, and then we're gonna take our shots. We've got some timeouts, so we need to go a little faster than we normally do, but we don't need to, we don't need to rush it so much that we screw up the application.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Perfect. Appreciate that. So now, Coach Decker brings his Trojans out. Manji, now he brings them all back in, tucks them in tight. He switches it up on Coach Gutierrez. Manji hands it to the big fella. The big guy runs up. They pick up the first down. That's for sure. The clock is racing, and they stop it. And the coaching staff from Foothill not pleased with the amount of seconds that ran off.
They lost about 3 seconds there.
They sure did. And the coaching staff from Foothill, their hands are raised up looking, hey, hold on a second. And possibly the back judge saw it. I don't know. He's talking to the official.
Yeah, if they put a couple more seconds on there. Foothill then used the timeout.
So I think one of the officials is going to come back over to the 40-yard line and tell them what they want up there.
I didn't bring my glasses, so I can't tell how many fingers.
Oh, 25. Wants it at 25 seconds. So, yeah, you're right, Coach. About 3.5 seconds went off. Pretty close to it.
All right, so now you got the ball at the 25-yard line. You still got a timeout in your pocket. What's scary about these guys is they could give it on a draw or a counter, if you overplay the pass against them and rip you one. Looks like they're going to be in the shotgun spread formation. And I've got to, keep my safety over the top of Tyson Reynolds, that's for sure, because that cat can run. Right now it looks like JoJo Mata's man-to-man on him with not a lot of help.
So a quick change by the Highland Scots. So Manji drops back, has some time, looks, fires one into the end zone, and it is caught! Touchdown! Tyson Reynolds, touchdown! No flags. Manji puts it up right in the middle of the football field, right at the field goal post. Caught, touchdown, Foothill.
Yeah, you have JoJo Mata, your best athlete on the field, covering him. But like we talked about, Tyson Reynolds is just another level athlete. And he was able to beat him into the post with no safety help there in there. Great throw, great execution, great call by Coach Decker.
And the Trojan faithful over there are elated. The cheerleaders just took off and sprinted down the track. And because it's old school dust on the track, you just saw a plume of dust take off as they just sprinted down. Game is not over. 17.9 seconds left. Trojans going to try to go for two. And they've got the weapon to do it in Deloney. And do they get in? They do. They get the 2-point conversion, and it makes it a 7-point game, 42-35. So Coach Deckard and his staff hang on to that route the whole game. We saw nothing even close to that, Coach, and they pull it out at the last second, and they delivered, and Manji had the protection he needed and delivered a dime right on it. Wow.
Yeah, we'd seen them struggle from that formation, but, this is the first time that they were able to really do it with a lot of field to use, and that extra amount of field really plays to your advantage when you got the fastest guy on the field. Tyson Reynolds there, he's a mismatch with anybody. And you had to think he was their number one guy in that situation, though you probably haven't seen that particular play on film yet. But now, that being said, the Highland Scots have got some big play potential over here. Foothill hasn't kicked the ball real deep. They're likely to get the ball about their 40-yard line with probably 12 to 15 seconds left, and you got a chance to chuck it up a couple times, and we've seen Highland in the past create some miracles on the last play of a game.
Our buddies Kenny Calvin, Rick Van Horn, and Kevin Willie and Stan Green tuned it in on this one. Their game is done, and they're watching this one. 17.9 seconds remaining. The Trojans up 42. The dangerous Highland Scotsmen at home still have an opportunity. Kalen Deloney done it all tonight. Will he kick it deep? He does his very best. It's taken at the 20, and they're going to fake the handoff, and it's going to be Valletta. Valletta cuts back upfield. Valletta looking for some room. Valletta down the near side. Deloney catches up with him, and they shove him out of bounds at the...
man.
That's a horrible play. A horrible play. They picked him up and threw him down out of bounds. The worst possible decision. They stopped their super speedy guy at midfield, and they picked him up and threw him into the dirt on the sidelines. The easiest call for any official to make. Oh, goodness.
So now they're going to have the ball at the 33-yard line.
Oh,
JoJo's
man.
arm is definitely strong enough for that. We're going to see some kind of spread formation. The question will be, how many guys will Mike Gregg rush defensively here? When you're in these situations, a Hail Mary situation, if you rush 3, he's going to have time to set his feet and throw. If you rush 4 or 5, you don't have as many guys in coverage, but you're going to get some pressure on him. So I'm anxious to see what Mike Gregg dials up here, the great defensive coordinator for the Foothill Trojans. Mike Gutierrez called a heck of a game offensively tonight.
So Valletta pitched, faked the pitch and kept coming, but Deloney, the kicker, the superstar, caught him, and I don't believe it was Deloney that did it, but one of the players, might have been, my view was blocked, but one of the Foothill Trojans picked up Valletta and just pile drove him into the ground, well out of bounds, and now all of a sudden they put back up to 9 seconds, so now it's 9 seconds.
So now you got 2 shots, I think, at it.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, they're going empty set here. Last time they struggled to protect for JoJo Mata in this situation. Foothill playing everybody back.
Mata on his own, as Coach just said. 9 seconds to go. They trail by 7. If they score, they can win it with a 2-pointer.
I think Highland might have a timeout left.
Mata takes the snap. They keep a ton of people, and they make the catch, and he goes out of bounds with 5.2 seconds. So to your question, the answer was Coach Gregg did not rush a ton of people, kept them all back there. The main thing is do not let them get in the end zone.
All right, now if you're JoJo Mata, you can't take a sack here. You throw this thing up if you get pressured at all. If you got somebody open, look for that inside receiver, the middle receiver on the right.
Here it is. Mata drops back. It's going to have to happen now. Flings it to the end zone. It's up, and it is no touchdown. It's not a touchdown. It's intercepted, picked off by the Trojans, and they win it. It was Andrew Rios that came down with it, and look at Foothill High School. There is no flag on the field. And the Trojans win the game. Unbelievable finish. So many things happened in this football game tonight that nothing surprised us until the very end. The Trojans throw a dime touchdown towards the goalpost, and then they come up with a big stop at the very last play of the game. Coach, before we even talk about our player of the game, because we haven't even made the decision yet, your final thoughts on this absolute instant classic.
Well, that's as good a high school football game as I've seen. You got both sides extremely well coached. Kids just battled every single snap. A lot of them going both ways. Just a tremendous game, and it came, only fitting that it comes down to the final play of the game.
What a fabulous program Coach Gutierrez has. He's had it for a long, long time, and Highland continues to be a force and will continue to be a force this year. They moved to 6-2. But how about this Trojan squad, Coach? They're at 7-0 now, and they've got to be thinking, okay, we control our own destiny here.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's going to be anxious to see who they end up and how they match up within the playoffs. But, they are on the fast track to winning their first league title in 40 years. So just a great night for the Foothill Trojans and a just incredible ball game.
We couldn't come up with a player of the game yet because we had to wait till the last play, literally had to wait for the last play. So There's a lot of great players on both of these rosters, but we'll go to the winning side, and we'll take a look at a couple of names here, Coach. I'm looking at Tyson Reynolds, who we gave it to last Thursday night, who had a huge play on defense. Great running job tonight. Caught a touchdown pass there at the end. Kalen Deloney, the workhorse, does it all. Even kicks, even punts, and they put it in his hands at some crucial times. Kevin Sandoval, 2 touchdowns tonight, scored some big ones and had a huge third down conversion run. And then there's Rafael Mange, who has led this team to 2 big victories and a 7-0 record, and tonight came through with a pretty nice long bomb to seal the victory. Coach, the pressure is on you. You're the coach.
All right, a tremendous effort over there. A lot of guys that it could go to. Rafael Mange, though, throwing the dart there at the end, being the leader of the team at the quarterback position. I'm going to go with him because when it all came down to it, he put the ball right where it needed to be.
Rafael Mange, the Kern High Network player of the game, gets the T-shirt. We'll walk it down there and get it to him. Coach, I want to thank you for being a part of something special tonight. That was a great job. Thank you for your interviews that helped set the stage. Foothill Trojans moved to 7-0. The Highland Scotsmen moved to 6-2. What a great football game this was on the Kern High Network. Hope you enjoyed it. For our captain, Julian Wilson, thank you, brother. What a night. For everybody at the Kern High Network, I'm Vance Palm. For Rich and Julian, thank you. Have a great night and a great weekend. Good night. God bless.